All right, everybody, we are back for episode 11. It's been a minute. I kind of have to explain myself afterwards when I go into I was about to say my week, but no, more so my 2 months. Because we missed a month. It was extremely cursed. But either way, we'll save that for afterwards. For now, though, I'm joined as always by my co-host, Fatal Brace of Soul. How you doing, man?
I'm doing alright, and I didn't even realize we missed 2 months.
Yeah, because in May we didn't record a single episode. I think it was the time when, gosh, remind me why we skipped. I think it was just because of the power outages and ISP being a butt for like 3 days, and it ruined the plans. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure that's why. Oh boy. So, guys, I gotta tell you, a lot's happened since then. Well, since the last episode. I finished Trails from Zero, which was fantastic. I loved it, but I'll get into that later. But long story short, my god, that is the most cursed finale I've ever done in my 5 years of streaming. Where I think the first one was ISP being a pain and just did not want to work for that night. So I was thinking, okay, I'll sleep on it. I'll give up. I'll sleep on it and come back. And then the next day, a power outage happened because my sister turned on her AC without telling me, and when both of our ACs are turned on with me with the laptop and the TV and everything on, upper floor just loses all its power. So I'm like, great, okay. Then I get stressed out because for some reason, my audio interface that I got a new one, which is great, which works now. So I'll explain what happened with that. I thought it got, like, screwed up because of the power outage, because I didn't have a surge protector at the time. And essentially what happened was that when I went back on to try to keep streaming, there was static on the mic, and I was wondering what the hell is going on here. I tried different USB cables, I tried different XLR cables, tried changing the gain, I tried everything, except for one thing, which technical support did help me out on, which I don't know how it changed to begin with, which is what still tripped me up, which is why I never would have thought to look into it, since I never messed with the setting, was apparently I had to go to the properties of the device itself and change it to 2 channels at 48,000 like kilohertz, as opposed to, I think it was set to like 8 channels or something absurd like that, which I would never use. But that's what was causing the internal static on the audio interface. So now it works completely fine if I set it to 2 channels. But Jesus Christ, the timing couldn't have been more cursed to stress me the hell out with that outage. I thought that was what killed it or what ruined it. And it was that, which I didn't think to look at because I never touched it since I got it out of the box. So that got fixed. And then the third day afterwards, we had to wait because there was also ISP issues, and we had to wait for a technician to show up and, them get it fixed. But my god, it was to the point where it's like, all right, if I want to finish Trails from Zero, now that I ate up like 3 of my days because of just utter misfortune, I said, all right, well, I guess we're not going to have time for, a podcast episode this month if I want to do it before Xenoblade comes out. Because that was the thing. I was trying to time out all this stuff before Xenoblade Definitive Edition came out, and then I got screwed because of those things happening 3 days in a row, and I'm like, this is so frustrating. But the game got done. It was great. It's just that unfortunately we did miss a month for the podcast. So that's basically what happened there. It was just cursed completely, top to bottom.
But that is really cursed.
I was about to say, so with that whole thing aside, oh wait, also, I need to explain too, real quick before we actually get into months. I know, I keep wanting to get to you, but yeah. So the other thing, really quick, I gotta mention at the start because I don't know how many people are gonna watch, a few minutes in. So this is being recorded before I'm going on a vacation. Not by my choice. It's certainly my family's choice, because I could not disagree with the timing more. They decided it was a great time to go to Puerto Rico for an entire month. So that's happening, and I'm leaving on the 24th. It caught me completely off guard because I already had plans to, stream and do other things. And yeah, that's just an entire month where I ain't streaming, I ain't doing nothing. Just I guess I'll just take it in and enjoy. I'm not gonna really be miserable while I'm there, but I really don't like how they chose to do it during the whole COVID situation. I think it's gonna make for a lesser vacation, just because of restrictions and whatnot. But the other thing as well is that yeah, it's it's an entire month. I would have said no, but it's like a family of friggin' 8, so I guess I just have to go with it. The main reason I guess I decided to go along with the vacation was because both my stepdad and I, we work at a hotel, and apparently the callbacks to go back to work aren't happening. I think the earliest date was or I guess the information that he got, the earliest date that they'd call back is early July. Or rather, late July, sorry. So that means that they're like, okay, well, we're going to be, with no work for over a month. So I guess they decided, oh, now's a good time for the vacation. So that's why they're doing it. But yeah, that's the thing. That's also why I wanted to record this podcast episode for whoever does listen to it. We'll have something. I know it's not going to hold people over for a month, but it's all I can do at the moment. So, in short notice. So that's pretty much the reason I'll be gone for a month. I'll still be on Twitter if anybody follows me there. I'll definitely be posting pictures and whatnot. But yeah, it's an entire month, so I'll be away for a while, but I'll be back. And I'll be back to my bullshit when I do come back. But man, I'm gonna miss streaming. I'm gonna miss everything, especially when I got, like you said, actually you said off the stream or off the recording. Oh my god, I'm so used to saying off the stream. Lord help me. No, like you mentioned before we started recording, was that I got the new PC, and it's I'm dying to just really start using it and installing all programs and everything, and I'm holding out on it just because I know I'm not gonna be able to do anything before I leave for vacation. So yeah, that's just how that is. But anyway, I'm gonna take it over to you because I feel like I'm talking long enough.
No, that's fine. I was gonna say
yeah, what's up?
I mean, hopefully the vacation goes alright and you're able to find some place to get some of them peat hours.
Probably, man.
I mean, hopefully they sell some.
Yeah, no, I imagine. The only thing is I don't really know what they're gonna do for the trip. I don't know what their plans are. Obviously, gonna see some of the family, that I haven't seen in a while, but. Yeah, I don't know. My only prerequisite is I hope to God I get to swim at least once during the summer. That's all I want, but that's going to be hard considering the situation, so we'll see.
Yeah. And, like I said, hopefully it goes well, and funny enough is that you weren't the only one where, I think it was, a few years ago where my friend, helped me build my PC.
Yeah.
And that was I believe the day before the day before I had to go on vacation. The only thing I could only do was prep it before I get home.
Yeah, it's the worst. God, you just want to use it.
Dude, and what sucks more is I had to keep eye on my brother's GPS that was updating very slowly.
Oh, GPS for what, when the order was coming in, or?
No, GPS because it was on a road trip, right? So.
Okay.
Yeah, because where we usually go away for vacation, to the Okanagan Valley. Usually we always need a GPS because our signal on our phones doesn't work until we get to those towns.
Yeah.
But that sucked though. I lost so much sleep.
I can imagine. Oh man. But did anything else happened for you in the last 2-ish months?
So 2 months. So here's what happened is that first off is I got myself one of them fancy M2 SSDs.
Nice.
Yep. Managed to get a good deal on Newegg. Thankfully managed to came a lot quicker than I expected during like this current like pandemic.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did with this SSD is that I turned it into my Linux drive, which I installed Pop! OS for anyone that's like that are using Linux and wondering what's my distro.
Yeah.
And so far, I've been, getting used to it, getting very comfortable. And the plan is that like, for my Windows stuff, I'm using it mainly for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
While for everything else, including this right now for like, recording the podcast, I'll be using my Linux drive.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And the other thing that also happened is that like, obviously we played some games. Both of us have played Trials of Mana.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. God, it's been so long.
It's been like really long though. Like Trials of Mana, like I'm surprised it came like on the first day. Had like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even though it was like very janky here and there, and I could have felt like there was like some stuff they could have like tweaked. And obviously like the voice acting could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I went with Japanese, and I'm just like, don't regret it. And I usually like dubs, but yeah.
Yeah, I decided to go dub just for curiosity's sakes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to Japanese for my next playthrough. Which, thankfully, like this game has like so much replay value. Like every time,
Did you? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, did you do just like the one playthrough currently, or?
Yeah, I just did like one playthrough and the obviously the post bonus chapter.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like all I did, and then after that, like I had like a cursed time of like waiting for Sakura Wars.
Oh god, I just remember what happened with that one. Yeah.
It just came very late. Like the problem was that like I ordered it from from another store. Because there was like only 2 places where I can order it from, right? I'm like, you know what? Let me go to this other place that's not EB Games and see how well they will ship it. And then, yeah, it was like 2 weeks. I had to wait for like 2 weeks after launch to get it.
Yikes. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, and the only thing I did was just like install the game, and that's about it. And the problem is that like I haven't like touched it along with my other games on my PS4 due to like. The PS4 likes to make my room hot, and we're currently in the summer season, so.
You don't have an AC or anything?
Oh no! The other thing I have is my fan, and the breeze whenever it comes from my window.
Oh my god! I remember having that situation. It's not great.
Yeah, it
like
sucks.
You're just praying for like nighttime to just come out and be like, please save me.
Yeah, and thankfully, like we've been getting like more rain, like more than usual, like this year. So it's been a moderate cooler summer than before. Like I know the previous summers was just a freaking heat wave, and I still remember like almost suffering going through like games like FF14 and stuff during the summers, and it sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what else happened. Oh, and the other thing also, so instead of like obviously since I couldn't touch Sakura Wars, so what I did was I played obviously other games on my Switch. So obviously the Switch one here in my room.
Yep.
I played some Street Race 4. I still haven't beat it yet because obviously like the game is like very, very challenging, especially like playing by yourself.
Actually, I forget. Does the series ever have any scaling for single player multiplayer?
No.
Yikes.
No,
yeah.
if I don't recall though, but I think it's also due to like they've been putting like balance changes like the characters with patches.
Yeah.
So I think like by the time like we'll get to like Streets of Rage 4, then we'll probably get like the newest like balance patch where most of the characters that have problems will get buffs and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What else? I've been So obviously, like we got the Sam Show collection, the kit that we got for free from the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are your impressions from it? Because I still haven't touched it. Like, obviously, I got it for free, but I still haven't messed with it.
So here's what I can tell you with like impressions alone. Like, it's very mixed.
Mm.
Like for me,
Also,
where
wait, sorry, I was gonna say it's not out on Steam yet, right?
I know it's out on Steam.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because that tweet with crossplay. Yeah, never mind. Never
Yeah,
mind. Anyway, go
yeah,
on.
like when we got like the tweet like when they said, oh, it's crossplay with Steam. That's when the Steam version came out.
Mm-hmm. So it was like a
So
week early.
yeah, so basically like right from the start is that I'm glad that I mean it's a nice package, right? You got like Summer showing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 special, and then they included like the Lost game that was like in Limbo with Star Fox 2. That was Summer showing 5 perfect,
Yep.
which is pretty much uh like an updated version of 5 special with like minor bug fixes and a story mode that wasn't like in special originally. Well, should I say like with like cutscenes
Yeah.
and which is like very neat. I condemned him, for I mean command him. I I can't even talk today.
It's cool. Do what you gotta do.
You know what?
Listen, people.
I'll,
Ain't
I'll
got
give
no script.
Yes, we're doing this live, damn it. So I give them like credit where it's due, where they managed to like translate this in a very limited time frame. Because if I remember correctly, like the person that was like tweeting like the story about this game, right, where he only had a limited time to like translate like most of the cutscenes from this very rare ROM of this game.
Yeah, which could only really be done because of already porting Sam Show 5. Cause yeah, it's like I think God, it's so terrifying because it's just another case of just game preservation just being truly dead, especially in those times where it's just like hope to God they saved it on a hard drive or something external and they can, salvage it. But that's kind of why they didn't really have the source code, so they can really edit that stuff. But thankfully, you could translate it, due to having a previous version that worked almost the same code wise. But man, that stuff terrifies me.
Same here, man. Like it always amazes me like how they're able to like recover this stuff.
Yeah.
Which I would say so far like gameplay wise, it's very fun. Obviously, it's Sam Show like 1, 2, 5, and then it's always fun to see like the ending credits for like 5 perfect to see what was up with like this joke ending that hinted like Hazuki, the sister of like Rikizuki and Sugetsu, leading this very horrible prank of her being playable one day.
God, and then they just do nothing.
Right? Because like everyone was hoping like she was gonna be like the Yuri of Sam Show. Because a long time ago, Yuri was not playable in the first Art of Fighting game until the sequel.
Mm-hmm. God.
Oh man. And I will say like I do have like gripes with it is that I mean control mapping is fine. Emulation wise, it works. However, I did hear like some reports of like people with their different like PC setups have like their own weird issues, especially with like audio drivers, which they're still like patching out and stuff like constantly. Exactly.
Sorry about that. I hate this street, man.
It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
So definitely like the biggest gripe that like I think everyone has noticed, including me, is that online is not really great. Where you have like the lack of lobbies to play with friends. Because originally like we were gonna have like a session between like me, Marcos, and with our friends Vex and Vex and possibly Shurion to like join us. But without lobbies, it's not that possible because we need lobbies, to obviously to like spectate the matches and everything. And the other issue is that like rollback is not that really great. Sadly.
Really? I didn't know about this.
So I did like some of my own like online matches with like different games in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
And
just with randos or
yeah, obviously with randoms like either in casual match mode or rank match.
Mm-hmm.
But I mostly can find a rank match. The main issue is that like the rollback is not that really perfect. Like it's like the similar rollback that they use for like the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection.
Oh, yikes!
Which best way I can describe is that like it's like below that is Code Mystic's rollback, because depending on your connection, right, is that there was like a bunch of people who I connected, and it was just a slideshow when it's like a very crappy connection.
That's unfortunate.
And the problem is that like I can't tell where the person is distance wise.
Yeah, I'm guessing they don't even really have good indicators when you connect to someone. It's just basic like peer-to-peer, like, oh, disconnected. Not gonna tell you ping, not gonna tell you nothing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much like you're playing Russian roulette, like with this like
no real infrastructure.
Yeah, because the problem is that like it's Digital Eclipse, and from all like the stuff that I read with them and the responses is that like when it comes to I'll get to the part soon, is that when it works very fine. Like obviously there was like some matches where like I actually got really good connection where it feels like I'm playing offline. But when I'm paired with a person that doesn't have a good connection, it all goes to shit.
Good lord.
I think the best way I can describe it is that like again it's similar to the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection, which again the same developers, the Digital Eclipse guys.
Wasn't oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Wasn't Digital Eclipse, who were the ones that were in charge of that Doom 64 port?
That was Night Dive Studios.
Okay. I got it mixed up for some reason in my head. I was like, what? But okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't know much about the Digital Eclipse then.
Yeah, all I know is that like they made like a bunch of retro compilations over the years. I do know like their first compilation did with SNK was with the SNK 40th anniversary collection, which is a very amazing collection, by the way. Like they did a really good job just because like they had this amazing dude named Frank Calfaldi, which you should check his tweet about like video games preservations and stuff.
Yeah.
And they just like managed to make like these arcade games like playable, especially with Akari Warriors, where they turn it into a dual stick shooter. Because originally, like it was like a rotating joystick that's it's very impossible to do with our modern controllers.
Yeah.
So, from what I can tell, is that since there was like no online play or anything, like they did like a really solid job with it. But as for Sam Show, since you need online to play like these types of fighting games.
Yep.
Like they just couldn't get like a grasp. They just couldn't get like a good grasp with it. Because I do know like the way they did online for Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection was also pretty dumb. Where like for example, if I pair up with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will always ask us, it's like, oh yeah, which game do you want to play? And then it will decide which game do you want to play for us, even though we want to play the same game.
Oh my god, are you serious? It does that?
Yeah, if you look up I think one of Max's videos or any videos that had for Street Fighter the 30th Anniversary Collection.
Oh no, I know about that, but are you saying that the Samsung collection does that?
No.
Okay.
Thankfully, no. That was like an improvement right there.
Okay,
But
then I misheard
sadly,
because I was like freaking out. I was like, no way they kept that in. Yeah, I saw that with Max. I was like, this is garbage. Yeah.
yeah, no, thankfully they removed that. But I think the main issue is that like, um, they like cut way too much things where bare essentials like lobbies are really needed.
Yeah.
No, and what's more awkward is that like trying to play with friends is that it's just it doesn't select your friends list. It always randomly selects who's ever like on Snapshot on your friends list.
Wait, repeat that?
Okay, so when you want to play with friends, right?
Yeah.
So for example, you have like 3 or 4 of your buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in games with like, for example, like Snapshot 2019, I can just send you guys an invite, right?
Yeah.
But with this, it randomly selects which friend you will play on your friends list.
So we can't reliably set this up. If some like is it just based off who's like playing at the moment?
Yeah, it's basically, for example, like if it's just like if you're the only person, it's fine.
Cool.
But
So because you're the only person I know that also plays Samsha, we're completely safe. But God forbid I know someone else in the future that also likes Samsha and wants to play.
yeah, it will just like
Unreal.
rotate.
Unreal.
uh
What? Great. That's even worse. I thought all I had to deal with was just the lobby not working or not being there rather. That's so
yeah,
dumb.
it's really dumb. Like this is coming from someone where I'm like a very huge Samurai Shodown fan. Like, I mean, the museum mode, like I will talk about, is that it's great. However, there is actually some missing subtitles in certain videos,
Oof.
which still needs to be like patched in. Or
Yeah.
the only like weird part that I saw in that museum mode, right, is I was surprised that they were able to get scans and mentions of the crossover games with Capcom.
Huh.
Yeah, I will kid you not. Like, I saw like when you see like the history section, right, where it tells you like, oh, there's like Snapshot 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then when I peeked over, I had to take a look twice, where I saw Capcom versus SNK, Capcom versus SNK2, SNK versus Capcom, SNK versus Capcom match of the Millennium, and even the card fighters.
Oh my god.
And what I missed is that they even censored out Capcom, and then which explains why is that apparently they got like permission from a few Capcom employees, to include this in the museum mode when I was looking at the credits.
Which, to be fair, kind of makes sense since, like you said, Digital Eclipse worked on the 30th anniversary thing, so I guess they got connections to, make it less arduous to really get the approval for that stuff.
Yeah, and also makes sense when you look in the like in the thank you section in the credits. But I will say is that like with this collection, like I can safely say is if you're planning like to get this, I'd say wait until we get a certain patch that makes it playable online.
They might be waiting a while for some of those responses.
Yep. I do know like they're updating like frequently, but
yeah.
yeah.
I'll cut the bullshit and say this. Listen, only get this if you're gonna if you're curious and you just want a decent collection to play offline. If you're gonna buy it for online, forget about it. It'll happen when it happens, but do not buy this with the expectation. Just buy it if you just want the collection for the sake of it. But for the online, yeah, it seems like they really couldn't. I don't know. I guess they couldn't be bothered. Like, an attempt was made, but wow, several bad decisions. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't even fathom it.
Dude, like it was such like a monkey's paw right there.
Yeah.
Where I would have wished like Code Mystics would handle this.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I thought it was gonna be Code Mystics, at least doing the net code and everything. I was like, damn it, they couldn't do it.
No, it had to be like the in-house roguelike netcode from Digital Eclipse.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so again, like if you're gonna get this like just to play single player or playing like with your buddies during quarantine.
Man, that's like one fear I have too, I have to say. Is just like, is this
Mhm.
what it's gonna be like where we're finally gonna get rollback in all these games and it's gonna be this monkey paw shit where it's like, oh, we gotta use our own rollback, and I'm like, why? It's free. It's completely, I'm so tired of this, man.
I
How
know,
many hoops do we have to jump just to get what we want? Oh my god.
dude. I just hope like future games, especially with Guilty Gear, like
Swear they
just
better not try. They better not try doing their own.
yeah, they better not. Oh my god. Like again, at least we have like Xanac to
Yeah.
like handle like with the rollback stuff. But my god, I just hope the lobbies are just bearable to use.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like the
we'll
beta.
definitely talk about it. There's one part of the news that we'll get back to Guilty Gear.
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, so in case if you want to get this like for yourself or for couch play with your buddy like during
Yeah.
like these trying times, just wait for a sale instead because there's uh a bit of a demand for the price it sells for.
I'll be real, I'm glad I got it for free. Ooh.
I'm glad like you convinced me to get it for free.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's disappointing. Oh well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm probably gonna download it and maybe mess with it on the the Puerto Rico trip, maybe just to like, because I feel like even if I do want to mess with all of them for you, or rather with you, it's gonna be hard with like 5 games in there. Like I might as well like play with them a little bit if I have time.
Yeah, I was gonna say like for now like since it's just gonna be like you and me for online player, right?
Yeah,
At least to know our connection will be at least good.
yeah. That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be a slideshow for us, but man, that's a shame. But did anything else happen for you?
Yeah, so after like randomly like testing out new patches for Samsha with the online play anytime they release a new patch.
Mm-hmm.
After getting like very frustrated like with the collection and other things. You know what? It's time I give myself a platformer break.
Mm.
So coincidentally, there is a huge sale on the eShop.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, dude, I was gonna buy some games, but damn it, I missed out because I didn't see what the cutoff date was. I was gonna buy some
no
for
worries.
the trip.
So
I'm
this
sure
game,
they'll be on sale in the future, but yeah.
I was gonna say like for this game, like you can probably like get it like really dirt cheap for the Steam version as well. So the game like I decided to get on sale was this game I've always wanted to play as a kid, but never got a chance to buy it back in the day. Was the HD remastered version of Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
Oh my god, yeah, I never played it, but I saw Nitro Red did like a really good video on it. He really likes that game. I'm surprised it got a re-release. Like I think it was like last year or 2018.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 years ago or last year.
Yeah.
But I do know is that like I am enjoying this game. Like I was surprised like this is like what if Zelda was more platformer focused.
Yeah. God, I've heard it's pretty much an underrated gem at this point, I'd say.
Yes, dude. And I think what I like about it is that I did read up is they actually did like redid the textures because they worked with a person that actually did a like an HD texture mod on the Dolphin emulator.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I usually don't hear about stuff like that too much.
Yeah, which I'm like, this explains why like this game looks pretty clean,
Yeah.
especially like in HD, and obviously like it runs like in 60 FPS, and so far like it's I've always like way wanted to play like a platformer that's like Egyptian theme, not like an Egyptian level,
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you.
and yeah, so far like it's pretty awesome. Where again like the structure is like similar to Zelda, but the gameplay wise is like very platformer heavy.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty comedic too.
Oh, dude, like so you got like a two protagonists to play, right? So the first
Mhm.
protagonist, like you got like Sphinx.
Yep.
He's a very smug looking guy who is has like a this smug face like in cutscenes. So obviously, he's like very similar to Link, where he has like a sword. You
Yep.
have like very basic combat. You get like a shield, and obviously, during your progress, you get like items very similar in Zelda from like chest or other things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like you get items like a zip line, things to like swim faster and stuff. And then, I mean, pretty much this is just like Link. And then we come to our second protagonist, which is like the most hilarious part of the game, where is you play as the mummy, which I'm not gonna say about the story too much until any chance that you get this game one day.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I already watched some Nitrorad's video on it, so I know, I know the general gist of it. But yeah,
Yeah. So
don't remind me, I guess.
yeah. So with the mummy, right, is like his gameplay is more puzzle heavy. Where he doesn't do combat he's more like, platforming and puzzles.
Yeah.
And the funny thing like with the mummy is that like he even has his own hilarious gimmicks where in order to conquer the certain puzzles, right, where there's like some parts where you have to like electrocute yourself, put yourself on fire. And I think my most favorite one is where he gets squashed and he turns into a Paper Mario sprite.
Man.
I'm like, dude, I'm like, why didn't I get this game like before?
That's the thing. I never heard about it until I watched that video. I was like, wow, how did this just not get any love, I'm glad that I don't know if it's like the same company that made it, like did the re-release, but man, I'm glad it got a second chance. This is like the first time I've heard somebody actually like buy that. Like you're the first person I've heard even like on Twitter or anywhere else that has actually bought the remaster.
Yeah, dude, like it's always been a game where like I've always seen on store shelves at EB Games, but never got a chance to get it, even when on sale.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
is it on Steam, by the way?
Dude, it's on everything. Like,
dope.
It's on Switch, PS4, Xbox, PC, Mac, Linux. However, I will like recommend the Steam version to you because I did read up. It does have like the Steamworks feature where they actually include like 2 cut levels, thanks to the Steam Workshop thing.
Interesting, huh? Okay, but yeah, good to know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, so far like I haven't beat the game yet, but I'm like really close to beating it, I believe. But I am having like so much fun with it, man. Like I'm like, this is like a platformer like break I needed.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I don't play platformers as much as I used to, but it is always good to go back to them because I don't know. There's something really raw about just the straight up gameplay when it comes to like platformers that I always like. More so than just like playing a 100-hour long JRPG or something, or like a fighting game that kind of stresses me out a little bit. It's kind of nice to be challenged in that way.
Yeah, like the other thing I also do like about this game is that like even though it has like HD texture mods, I do like how the style of it still looks like I am playing from a PS2, GameCube, Xbox era.
Nice. Yeah, because some people would complain about it, but it's like I kind of wish more remasters were a bit more simple at times.
Yeah, like I do like how like they still kept it like PS2 GameCube looking with it, which brings me back like to those days when like I would say like this would have been a game where I would have rented like back in the day. Because I know I played like lots of other weird platformers back when I used to go to like to Rogers or Blockbusters.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I would say like I mean style wise looks great. Gameplay, it's very like jank here and there. Like there's like some parts where it kind of frustrated me due to like some of the hitboxes.
Yeah.
Like during combat. But I managed to get used to it. Soundtrack wise, it's kinda there. it's like more ambience. But however, the soundtrack does kick in when you do when you play as the mummy.
Yeah.
Like when you hear like the themes when you get electrocuted or fire or get flattened is hilarious, dude.
Man.
It reminds me of like what's the best comparison I can do is you know how in Wireland 4 where certain things you hear like a special mix or theme to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing like with the mummy parts in Spinks.
Ah, okay. Lord.
Yeah, and then the other thing that also happened, which I also did play today, before the podcast, is I was checking out this amazing fan remake of Rayman 1.
Yeah, you mentioned that in DMs. That was kind of crazy. So, is it just a remake or is it like new levels? I was confused with the trailer.
Okay, so here's the best description I can give to you. So, you're aware of like the mobile ports that is like the Taxman version of like Sonic 1 and 2, and obviously you know the Tax version of Sonic CD.
Yep.
Think of it as that level of remake.
Okay.
Where like similarly to like the Taxman version of Sonic is that it's been like it's not like ported, it's more like built from the ground up.
Yeah.
And obviously like I can tell like they did many quality of life changes like to the first game, like especially for better, because when it comes to Rayman 1 it's hard. Like
I've heard, I've never played it by the way.
Okay,
but yeah, I've heard that it's pretty tough.
I can tell you is that like that game kicked my ass back in the day. Like the worst part is that the first version I encountered with it was the Game Boy Advance version, aka Rayman Advance, which had horrible screen crunching before I was aware of what screen crunching was.
Same, I think. God, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I ever grew up with like games that had like really bad screen crunch. Because like, I think on Game Boy Advance I played like a lot of like the Sonic Advance series. I played the GBA port of Mario World, and that worked fine for the most part. But man, yeah. A lot of platformers on GBA really suffered if they weren't made for them.
Yeah, like it was during a time where like the screen crunch like sufferings I had was with Rayman Advance and Mega Man and Bass.
Oh god, yeah, I've seen reviews. Oh,
dude,
god.
Mega Man and Bass was hard as balls in the GBA, dude.
Wait, did you own it?
No, I was looking to rent it
that's
like
still
from Blockbuster.
Bad. You got the war stories. Oh Christ,
dude!
That game's already terrible design-wise from what I've seen. I was like, oh my god, I can't imagine playing that on GBA.
Dude, it's really hard on GBA. Like, obviously, going back to Rayman is that like just like with Mega Man and Bass, eventually I would play like the PS1 version, which is like the superior version.
Yeah.
Like as everyone says, definitely like a lot more easier than the GBA version. And the music is so much better as well. But the problem is that it's still pretty hard. Like, it's mostly due to, like, with lives and continues. And you really get it, saved often before you use up all your continues.
You boy.
And obviously, like, controls, they do work. Level designs, especially with a certain boss, they can be pretty unfair on times. So, with this, this game, excuse me.
Yeah, you're good.
So, pronounced as Rayman Redemption. So, they did like a number of changes, which I noticed while I was playing this today. Is you get like most of your basic abilities from the start, because when you start like in Rayman 1, the only thing you can only do is just walk and jump before you're able to punch, etc.
Yeah.
So in this remake, right, you're able to punch, do everything like from the start. Well, obviously, like there's other abilities you still have to unlock later on.
Yeah. Well, thank God for that though, because I've never really liked that. It depends. There are certain types of genres where it makes sense, but for platformers, it always feels weird to not have the entire moveset, right? like for me when I play a Mario game, like I immediately what I want to do, or whenever I play any platformer or any game for the first time, especially when it's like retro games, is I do every single combination of buttons possible, right? Like flick the
Yeah.
stick and press a button, or like, you know, hold it mid-air, right? Like it's so weird to just have that like be kind of spoon-fed to you like bit by bit, because you kind of want to mess with it the whole way through, you know? But yeah.
Yeah, same here. Like, that was like again one of the things that that kind of weirded me out. Like during when I played Rayman 1 for the first time. So with this, like, I was able, to like dash, do my punches, do my helicopter glide, and everything. And obviously, I can tell like they were smart enough, to at least lock a few abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? That's actually very, very fair enough for a change.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, definitely, like, as you can tell, is that they definitely rebalance, like, lots of the difficulties for this game. Like, for example, you have, like, 2 modes to pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have, classic mode. Obviously, you have, like, limited lives and continue.
Yep.
And the other welcome change is casual mode, where you have unlimited lives and continues.
Thank fuck. God, because yeah, I've heard that first one is brutal.
It is really brutal, man. Like, there is like so many parts of the game where I will like tear my hair out just because I did something super dumb and lost my lives for it.
Like I've seen there are points where there's like almost like auto runner sections where you have to do like pinpoint like platforming, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like who's doing this?
Oh my god. It's very ridiculous, especially like when you go onto certain sections with the mosquito. There's like like an auto flying section, which also did frustrate me back in the day. The other welcome change also did is that like the similar to like Sonic 1 and 2 and Sonic CD is the game is in widescreen.
Oh my god, like that's the thing. Like the opposite of screen crunch is those games. Old games just working widescreen. Oh my god, it changed Sonic for me forever, dude. Holy shit, it was a game changer.
Bro, when you thought it changed when you thought it changed Sonic forever with a widescreen change, dude, it changed Rayman 1 for me forever with this widescreen.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, dude, I'm like, I could see everything. I could like dodge things way ahead of time. Like
every retro game needs it if it's coming back, honestly.
Dude, like, I really give, like, props, to this guy that made this fan remake, reimagine, whatever you call it, the redemption.
Yeah.
Like, this dude know, like, what needed to be changed. It, like, if someone was to, bring back Rayman 1 again, in a whole new, like, from the ground up, instead of just, porting the same game.
Yeah.
And like they also like added like a bunch of cool things. For example, like there's obviously like unlockables, getting, for example, you can get like skins for Rayman that you can unlock. There's also these cool magician challenge levels when you find like hidden coins, which are pretty fun to do in order to unlock those bonus features. Yeah. And then the other game changer thing that also frustrated me with Rayman 1 is that the entire game you only start out with 3 health. And you can only get this P orb to temporarily extend your health till the end of the level.
Okay.
So what they did is that, like, for example, you talk to this fairy, and the fairy lets you know, it's like, oh, by the way, if you get me like 10 cages, I can extend your health.
Oh, so they made it just like a traditional, permanent upgrade. Nice.
I'm like, dude, that's a game changer right there.
Yeah.
Like, I missed to check what else is on this list. Is that, oh yeah, like obviously he also like a change, like making the controls feel more tighter, making sure like the physics and stuff they work more better.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other cool thing is that like I also saw from the trailer is that they also added like new power ups and stuff, and the other neat thing, similar to Sonic 1 and 2, the Taxman versions of it, is he also added levels. For example, like he added like a level where they're from the Rayman education keeps.
Oh my god. Once again, bringing them up, I think I think Antu and Dan is right. Yeah, they both did like a video. I was like, those are like weirdly difficult and like all over the place.
Dude, I even saw like Proton John like live stream it on the scratch copy of it.
I was just like, what is this game trying to be? Because at some points it just gets really unfair for kids.
And then it's like really like early childhood. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, dude. Man. Yeah, and I think like when I was like reading some stuff, right, from people like thoughts on it, right? Like I think someone like pointed out is that also let's see, yeah, so they added like that. They also added like a whatchamacallit, a true final world for the main villain of the game.
Yeah. And
lastly, they also added like more levels to Candy World, which thank God, because that world actually lacked a lot of things. And all I can say, and other neat things I will say is that obviously, you know, you got remappable controls. Shouts to this guy again for supporting PS4 controllers out of the box.
Yeah.
Especially with the symbols like on the control remap section. And pretty much like if you're someone that likes Rayman Origins or Legends and always want to check a Rayman 1 but intimidated of how hard it is by description or people like me describing about their war stories with it, is you definitely got to go with Rayman Redemption. Just make sure you grab it before anything else happens.
Yeah, I should probably download it after this recording, honestly.
Yes. So anyone like hearing this right now...
Do you know if Ubisoft like disapproves of like fan works like that, or...
I'm not sure.
I don't know their history on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure Ubisoft, and same with like with the creator Michel Ancel.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know like they did this one Rayman game for the PC where I think like Nitro Red mentioned this review where like it had like a you can design your own levels.
Yeah.
And they eventually released like an expansion pack that was full of like fan made levels. Which, like I said, I don't know like how they are right now, but
yeah, that was again, like years ago. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to be safe, is that just grab it right now. Like, yeah, just grab it and just try it out. It's super fun. Like, it's really like, again, like I haven't like gone so far in the game, but so far I'm like having a lot of fun with it thanks to these like quality of life changes.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
No, mami, no ahora. Okay, sorry about that.
All right. And yeah, so that was me checking out Rayman Redemption.
Sounds pretty dope. Then like I said, like for people who like Legends and Origins, which I love those games to death. Like Legends is still arguably one of the best 2D platforms that's come out like recently. So I'm like, I did want to check out one eventually. I don't know when, since I'm like streaming so much stuff now, but that is cool to see. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that at all today when you DM'd that.
Dude, I was like shocked by it too. Like, all it took was like, you know, going somewhere like I was on YouTube. Like, I was like going to YouTube in my recommendations. It says Rayman Redemption. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, whoa.
God, that's nuts.
Like, they announced it and then just put it out right now before it goes away.
Yeah. Oh man. Anything else for you though, or is that like pretty much it?
That's pretty much it for my months.
Okay. And then I guess for me, there's like a few games I played. So as you mentioned, Trials of Mana, I played it. That was my first experience with it since I never played the original, and it was pretty damn fun. It's not a perfect game. It was made with like, you know, I'd say like a modest budget, you know, like a modest team. But I remember mentioning it when I was playing. Is that I kind of wish more games like that came out. Because for one, as we mentioned before several times, this is what I wanted the Secret of Mana remake to be, right? In that
Yep.
beautiful art style that I absolutely adore. Like, I forget if it's just one person behind that art style or if it's someone that like replicates it nowadays, but always loved the art style of the Mana series. But seeing it just faithfully done in 3D, and they just enhance it, make it 3D, and it feels, in a way, it kind of feels like what Trials of Mana, or Seiken Densetsu 3 rather, what it always wanted to be, but it was, you know, tied to 2D planes. But now that it can do 3D, I feel like this is what they wanted it to be in the first place. For how ambitious, you know, the action RPG elements were, it just makes sense. It's great. The music is great too, but yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's definitely a game I'd recommend if it's like on sale more than like full price, unless you're a very retro minded fan or like gamer in general. You know, if you grew up with the Super Nintendo era or the 16-bit era of like JRPGs and you know what to expect with this type of game, I'd say go for it. Because for me, it was a nice, you know, trip back to kind of how games used to be before they got super ambitious with storytelling. And it's very simple. The story's not gonna like blow you away or anything, but it's very fun. The only thing is that yeah, that final bonus chapter, pretty disappointing. Like I had some stream issues, but overall it's okay. It's I don't know, it's like it feels like they did it to just to do it, but it's a lot of recycled assets, so it's like kind of lukewarm.
Yeah,
You know?
I actually forgot to mention about that, like where it kind of reminded of like doing like the bonus chapter for Final Fantasy 1, like for the later ports and remakes,
I can't say I played
where
them, but yeah.
yeah, it was like in that similar structure where you're like revisiting the same place as remixed, and the only new thing are just like the bosses.
Yeah. What it felt like was pretty much like when every JRPG or every game like likes to do like a boss rush, but just extended to like dungeons and themes. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I get it. I just want to get to the new stuff, you know what I mean? I can't help but feel that when
Yeah,
I was playing through. Especially with how
yeah,
lengthy it is, you know?
yeah. Like I do know like it was only just an hour long. Thankfully, it's not like what you call it MP3. Oh
I don't know,
shit.
Tartarus or
No, like the after stuff you do in MP3 Fez.
oh, the answer. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
the
that's
answer.
bad.
There we go.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
Thankfully, it's not the answer. Like,
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, it's not bad. It's just that you know, final chapter's like, take it or leave it.
yeah, for me, it was just there. And again, like the only cool thing about it is that like the last boss, that you fought, right?
Yeah.
That was actually a character from a different Mana game, which might be hinting, for future Mana games to come.
Yeah. Which it'd be cool if it did. Like, who knows? And that's the thing too. I hope that team gets to do more with the series because it is kind of sad how like it is so I don't know. It's so charming and old school in that innocent type of way where it's just I kind of want to just have a good time, and I usually don't see that type of vibe too much. Like it very much is a game of its era, and I really love that series because of it. Despite not having played a ton of them, I still always like how it knows exactly what it wants to be. Like it knows its identity and keeps up with it in the remake. And while it's not a complete home run, I still think it's fun. And I'd recommend it to anybody like Switch version, PS4, Steam. They all run, relatively well. No real issues. So I'd recommend it. But yeah, I played that. It was a good time. And after that, went right into Trail Sim Zero, or continued it rather, because it was a bit on and off with playing that one, because it was just hard to schedule doing Trail Sim Zero in between like 7 Remake and all these other releases coming out. I was just like, how am I going to juggle this? So I was like, well, it's better to start it when it came out, than just like wait until after, because then it's just going to be weeks of no progress. But yeah, finally did like, the final push to finish the game. It was great. Oh my god, that final dungeon really threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna spoil in case anybody wants to, check out the series in the future, but oh my god, I'm so happy. It ended on a pretty good note. Definitely not as bad a cliffhanger as FC. Ooh boy. Um, but yeah, it was pretty solid. It also gave me that satisfaction that I love so much with this series, where um I kind of like all these characters that you meet along the journey just having their final moment or helping out the team in their final dungeon moment. And it's just really cool to see, because you really get this sense of like connections really mattering. It's not just these nameless NPCs that you meet once for a quest line and then you don't see ever again, right? Like, these people matter. And I like that. I'm a big fan of that. It makes the world feel more lived in, not just with NPC dialogue, but also just, they end up doing what they can in the story in the long run. So
Yeah, you could say, it's like a cinematic universe.
that too. Oh man, I couldn't believe they joined the party in the final dungeon. God, I lost my shit.
Dude,
Genuinely lost my shit.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, I'm glad, like, no one said about that, and I'm glad
so
you were still
glad I didn't get
surprised.
spoiled. Yeah, because I was like, I got spoiled by Gamatsu knowing that they were gonna show up, but I did not know they were gonna be party members, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like the best. Everyone move over.
Dude, I predicted you were gonna freak out, like, when I was playing through that section on my playthrough. And I also do want to give, like, a shout out to Livy for helping you throughout the journey.
Yeah, with the save files. Oh my god, that's like the one complaint I have, is that the bonding system is super strict if you're trying to do it on the first playthrough. There's like 3 routes you can go with other party members. My god, you mess up one thing and they're ruined forever. It's insane how strict that is. That is awful.
Yeah, I would say, like, my own the only, like, thing I will say about that is that it's only bullshit if you're going for all 3 party members.
Yeah, like if you're going for one, it makes sense, but it's like, it reminds you of like this reaction like image meme where it's like, don't give me hope, right? Like, don't make me think I can do this and then make it super hard as fuck to do. Like, just one thing, and it was a beginner's trap for me, because I did like a team attack, and I was just like, that's it. The entire run is dead. Oh my god. But yeah, like you said, it's only if you're trying to go for all 3. If you want to just go for the one and call it a day, it's completely easy to do.
Yeah, like, at least, it's very simple enough, just at least, keep bonding, like, with this character, at least enough. I mean, it's like a similar system, in Persona, where, if you're trying to get, like, the harem route, then, I mean, trying to get all the social links, then good fucking luck. Like, make sure you have a guide and everything.
Yeah.
But if you're just focusing, at least a few people, or just one girl, whatever, right, then you are fine.
Yep. But overall, it was pretty great. It was cool to see, Crossbell, which people always say that it's like, among their favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like, I consider it's like in the same veins of, like, with the Dracula X series in Castlevania,
Yeah.
where, like, people, like, describe, like, of this last game of people haven't played, like, yet, because it didn't came out over here.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm like, once again, I don't think any of them will listen to this podcast, but like, once again, props to the Geofront team for making it happen. Completely and utterly spoiled by that version. It's phenomenal. I think I mentioned it on the last episode. But yeah, it was just great. It was a very fun time. I think there was one thing I was gonna say, but I forgot. No, I lost it. It's fine. It's nothing major. But yeah, it's just very fun. Looking forward to, whenever I get to come back and play the sequel. Oh, I know what it was. Was that, like, yeah, overall I like the game, but I'm still biased. They still can't top Estelle and Joshua for me, and I don't think anything will going in the series for it. I think you ever just feel like you just made up your mind on what your favorite thing is, and they're never gonna, like, it's just like it's this weird matter of expectations where it's like, this is already my favorite and the execution was already perfect.
Yeah,
they will not revisit this and they will not do it that way again, so I'm not gonna hold on to hope that they'll top that, because they're not even gonna try to, right? They're just gonna do something else. So hopefully I still enjoy the rest of the series, but I'm just like, I can clearly tell, especially when I finished playing Zero, I was like, yeah, I'm biased. I'm not even gonna try to front, like
Yeah,
the other party members are
yeah.
fine, but nah.
I was gonna say like definitely like for me, yeah, I do have like a similar issue as well. I'm also pretty biased to certain characters.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, I will ask you like a few questions before we move on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
So, who is like the best party members like in the Triple S gang?
Oh well, definitely Randy and Tio were my favorites by far.
Yeah.
Those two are the best by a wide margin for me.
Yeah, that's definitely like good answers. That's definitely like in most senses like everyone will agree.
Yeah, like Lloyd is he's fine as a main character. There's nothing wrong with him, but just not as fun as Estelle, And he doesn't have to be. He's more of a straight man. But that's
Yeah.
kind of why Ellie suffers for me as well. They're both they're both a bit too straight and narrow for my liking for like reactions and how they like, respond to things. It feels like Ellie's responses or like quips I cannot remember for the life of me. Like it's just there, she does it, and it's like that was expected. That was very generic, I can't help it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like when you put like a Lloyd to the likes of like Kevin, right? It's definitely very hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. Kevin's more interesting. Reese is more interesting as like, a duo like that. And they got the chemistry too. Same thing with Estelle and Joshua. That's why I loved Kevin and Reese so much. I was like, oh, it's not Estelle and Joshua, but this is different and still works great.
Yeah, and dude, and the best part is that like it still has a unique weapon. Like, when was the last time like you see a main character use tonfas, dude?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, which by the way, that definitely not a suspicious reference to one of the Suikoden games. Where, funny enough, one of the Suikoden should I say Suikoden 2 Pro Tag uses tonfas.
It's all connected. Lord. But you said you had was there like any other question?
Yes. So I was gonna say is that I'm not sure if I didn't mention this during chat, right? Is of a certain character that appeared in all three games, right?
Yeah.
And have you noticed they did not appeared in Zero?
That is true. Yeah.
That's like an interesting like the thing when it comes to Zero, right? Is that this certain character did not ever appear in this one, but was able to appear in the Sky trilogy.
Makes me wonder. Well, I'm guessing like sequels will like clear that up for me. Potentially. No. I don't know. Or was it just a weird thing where they forgot, or is it just like, nah? Well, granted, you know what? Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
All I can say is that like I was just wondering if you noticed, this certain character didn't like show up in this particular title.
Oh, I absolutely noticed. I was like, huh, what's up with that? Yeah. I was wondering too, but I didn't say anything because, again, it's this problem with like Twitch streams where it's like you kind of want to like ask something not for an answer, but just so people know what's on your minds. But I didn't want to take the risk. I always hate that dilemma. Like it's purely rhetorical questions just to let people know what's on my mind. But yeah.
There was like a couple of times where like you did ask me like a couple of things, but obviously,
yeah,
that's for you to find out.
Pretty much.
And what was the thing I was going to ask is that, oh no, I was going to ask is that, oh yeah, and also the last thing is that also shouts to Livy for like letting you know about the power surge with the battery backup.
Yeah. Oh man, do I have a story for that? Yeah, I'll get into that later. Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, was there any other question?
No, that was all.
Okay.
Actually, I would say is that like definitely am looking forward to your journey to Azure.
Yeah.
Like props to you of like getting 100% DP in Zero.
Yeah, there's some tough moments. God.
Yep. And again, this is not like a spoiler or anything, this is just something like to come when we get to Azure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that one thing I will describe is that getting those points in Azure is going to be very interesting.
They actually make it worth your while compared to Sky Games.
I'm not going to say what they do. I'm not going to say how hard they are. All I can say is I am looking forward to your reactions when you try to do cram those side quests in Azure.
I can't believe they add Estelle and Joshua for getting 100 DP.
Oh yeah, there it is. You spoiled yourself right there.
Damn, son. Nah. Okay, we'll see. But yeah, no. Finished that. It was great. But after that, it was mainly just like I said earlier, just waiting for Xenoblade Chronicles to come out, which I was a bit late to the party because I was importing from the UK, because obviously Collector's Edition was way better there than it was here in America. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a sick joke.
I wonder why.
God, it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't even know why, because 2 had like the same special edition. It doesn't make sense. I guess because of the history that the original game had, but come on, man.
Here's what I can say about this is that this is like a shot for shot like remastered to the point where like we have the same marketing. We have Nintendo of America / Canada.
Yeah.
The way like they market Xenoblade HD.
Pretty much.
Dude, and you know what makes me scary about that, man, is that whenever we get like a definitive edition or a remaster or a remake of like The Last Story and Pandora's Tower,
yeah,
I'm afraid they're gonna do the same thing.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. I honestly wouldn't doubt it.
Shit.
Gosh. But yeah, the day finally came. I got it. I played it. I loved it. Actually, just yesterday before recording this, I finished the game, at least the main story. I have not done Future Connected. I am saving that for when I come back from vacation. I could have done it. I could have started today and like said, no TTSR recording before I leave, but it still would have been too risky. Because for one, we're watching those presentations with some announcements before I leave, and even then, I don't want to leave packing for like last minute. So
yeah,
it would have been risky to do, despite it being pretty short from what I've heard.
Yeah, like the problem is that like it would have been like between like 10 and 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it still would have been enough like for you to like finish and then do other things before like you go out.
Yeah, I could have done it technically in 2, I guess, with that ETA or time frame, but I like to take my time anyway. I know it'd be longer for me. I like to just take it all in, especially with Xenoblade games. I take it nice and slow.
Yeah,
even that's part of the appeal,
Yeah, I mean, even this man he also like sniffs his collector's edition too.
God.
Which, by the way, I'm like pretty shocked that like Canada Post delivered my copy on day 1.
Yeah, I was like, man, Canada Post is actually not being garbage the last few months, it seems.
Oh, except for Sakura Wars.
Well, that one, yeah. Okay, it's being selective.
Yes, it's being, slightly nicer though.
Yeah. But no, oh, sorry, you go ahead first.
I was gonna say, like, fine thing is that when this man saw me, like, posting a pic of my copy arriving, like, he asked me to, send my copy to him.
I'm like, please do. Please give it to me.
Well, if I would have given him a copy, I would have let you, stream the webcam of yourself licking the cartridge and let everyone know how Xenoblade tastes like.
Lord.
For the price of like sending you an early copy.
Now that just reminds you of that cursed was it Arvin or who did that cursing on Twitter where it's like consume cold steel 1?
Oh my god, I don't know who it was. Oh no, I think it was. I don't remember. All I remember is like someone just
Just opened up a Persona 4 Golden case, or I forget which one happened first.
No, yeah, no, like I know he opened up like a copy of like I think Charles the Cold Steel, and then the disc inside was like Persona 4. I no. It was like Persona 4 of the way. It just had uh the sticky note that says Charles the Cold Steel.
Yeah. That reminds me of that curse summon people. Like, oh my god, I was like, humanity is fucked. When the Switch was coming out, and people were just like, let's taste the cartridges. I'm like, guys, what is wrong with you?
I'm like, bro, like I never seen people like lick like their cartridge like for their NES, Super Nintendo Genesis, or hell, even like lick like the Hue cards for the
All
Turbo
because
Graphics.
Nintendo said that it was with like a bitter like corrosive acid or something. I'm just like, guys, no, you're so dumb.
Dude, I'm surprised like people didn't done this with like the 3DS and the DS like back like a long time ago.
Yeah, all it takes is this one news report, and that's it. Everyone just has to know. Oh boy. But yeah, no. Xenoblade Chronicles like the main story. I'm gonna keep it brief because it just came out. There's a lot of people that will probably check it out in their own time. But granted, though, we don't have a ton of viewers, but still, I want to make sure for anybody who doesn't want to get spoiled, because it is a fantastic story to not be spoiled on. So it pretty much was exactly 8 years for me. Ever since I beat the game, like I beat the game in about a month when I first played it on the Wii back in 2012. That was like the official North American release, or rather, I got it from GameStop because, as some people may or may not know, in North America. It came in limited quantities, and it was only on GameStop, which is why it was hard to find at first. Which is why people were like, "Oh my god, thank God it's on Wii U," or "Thank God it's on 3DS." Which, while the 3DS port I never owned because I'm just like I just don't see the point. Because I'm like I'm not gonna play the version that looks worse, but it is impressive to have it running.
I mean, the only closest way to like play it at the go, and the only version like I would like recommend to peeps that don't have like Wii U's or Wii's.
Yeah. Pretty much like it does have its purpose, but yeah, very situational now with Definitive coming out. So yeah, it's Xenoblade 1 is, I'd say, definitely in like my Costa. I don't know. Like I say it's in my top 5 of like favorite games of all time, but I feel like I change that every single time I think about it. You know what I mean? I don't really have that list like set completely, but it's up there. It's one of my favorite games of all time for sure.
All right.
That story is just so well done, and I think it is the one even after like playing definitive edition. While I do like some aspects of 2 more, 1 is still the easiest recommendation for anybody getting into the series. It's the one that has the best balance of like the exploration in the world, the scope of it all, like with the 2 titans. Like it's such a creative setting that you can't help but be like amazed by what they've done if you look at the environment and just like realize where you're at, and it's not bullshit. You actually are on the leg, or like I look back like going into getting to like a midpoint of the game, and they're saying it's like you're on the freaking thumb, for example. I'm trying not to spoil like location names, but then you just like look back and it's like, wow, that does look like an actual thumb. Like this is ridiculous.
It's crazy. Like it's almost like you're playing. It's like Shadow of the Colossus, except you're like on the actual like giant itself.
Like it's such a unique premise, even in just a fantasy setting. It's like fantasy within a fantasy setting. Like I don't know how they did it, but man, they really thought this through. It's insane. But yeah, then of course the music is great. They did not change too much of the AI, which is a bit disappointing. Melia and Shulk are still way better for people to play as a player character than letting it go to the AI. But unfortunately, Charlotte didn't get fixed either. That bummed me out. God, I'd love to use her more, which I did use her on like the final battle, funnily enough. But it's just, man, that talent art has got to go. I don't know why they gave her that. Um
In as now, like it's kind of weird. Like they didn't do those changes, but however, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, pretty much like everyone I think like everyone that's playing for the first time also realized that like Charlotte wasn't that great.
yeah. And it's such
it
a
just
weird choice for the talent because it's like it feels like it's a nerf that she doesn't need. She never had a great kit of arts to begin with. Like, it's so I don't know, man. It's so weird. They really didn't balance the party members like as well. But the cast overall is still pretty good. Were you gonna say anything else though?
oh no, I was gonna say like I definitely did notice that they did buff the the auto attacks the auto attacks in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like they do slightly more damage now. Um but it depends on your setup with the party, because of course, that is the one thing with this game is that definitely be prepared to like adapt whenever you play this game, because there are certain times where your weapons just will not work under certain specifications. You're gonna have to like find ways around it. But yeah, overall it's fantastic. It's a fantastic story. I love how it looks now. I know some people aren't really down on the new art style for the models and whatnot, but I personally love them. It's so much more expressive now. They look great, better than they've ever been. I'm a huge fan, and I'll even say this too: the rearranged soundtracks are probably 95% of the time solid. There might be one or two changes that some people might not agree with, but I played the entire game with the rearranged soundtrack, and I liked it so much that I forgot to even change to the original like I thought I was going to do. Like, switching back and forth was like, I didn't mind, like 100%. I enjoyed seeing the new takes, and in some cases it sounds like very similar, but it just sounds more fuller, with more like instruments and like re-recordings put in there. Makes it sound really nice for the most part for some of them. It's just really well done. It's a phenomenal story. There are certain moments that I really look forward to, but I don't want to spoil here. But it's the easiest recommendation for anybody trying to get into the series, not just because it's the first one, but it does have the best balance of like the story and also having a likable cast. And while it does have flaws, it is not a perfect game by any means. I could go into that stuff, but I don't want to ramble too long. It's solid, man. It's still one of my favorite games ever. And finishing it last night, and just really looking back at it, it's like once again, whenever I play a Xenoblade game, it just feels like an incredible journey. And I love the party and the cast by the end of it. And my favorite part, without a doubt, was that, man, you and me both, we said that's a big ask. I don't know if she's gonna do it. My sister stayed for the entire thing.
Wow,
The entire game. She was there with me last night. And now
dude.
she loves Ricky, she loves Dunban, she loves Ryan, Melia, Fiora, everyone. She loves everyone in the cast, and I'm just like, finally she understands why I love this series so much, right? Like, and now she's even saying that she wants to like see me play 2 at some point. I told her, that I gotta play the Trail series, so who knows when. But I'm glad that she, now understands why this series means so much. And because for me, I've always said it's my favorite JRPG series, like, period, full stop. It's my personal favorite because for standalone games, they're just so satisfying to me. Like, even just little things like playing through Definitive Edition, for now the navigation, or rather, for example, the navigation is way better now. Oh my
So
god,
much better, man.
get this version if you don't want to deal with a guide, and navigation so like 1,000 times better because they brought it up to date with like Xenoblade 2 and X. It's fantastic. I barely felt like I needed a guide. The only reason I needed a guide was just to know what outcome would be better. Because some quests like branch off to 2 different paths, or heart to hearts have like dialogue choices. That's the only reason I really needed a guide at that point. But it's great. But the other thing too is that like just little things like the Collectopedia that was in the original, but just seeing a game give you experience points for reaching locations and just exploring, but then also just picking up all the shiny collectibles and just finishing up the collectopedia gives you substantial worthwhile rewards with like really good gems that might be hard to come by. It's just all these little things add up to a game that feels like it's not wasting my time. I'm enjoying it, taking it all in, but it all feels like it matters. Some games just don't really balance that design too much with the exploration, and that's why I don't really like a lot of open world games to begin with. But this series always nails it for me. So I'm a huge fan of it, so I'm telling you, the scope, if you haven't played a game, I highly recommend it. Check this one out. You won't regret it. If you stick with it, it does so many things that are like far and away better than like some other series that I've played recently. It still does, like, despite it being an old game, it's still solid. I love it. So definitely, 10 out of 10 once again. Big surprise, biased as hell, but I don't care. I love that game. Truly love that game. And I'm looking forward to checking out Future Connected like a month later, which stings saying it right now, but I don't want to play it while I'm in Puerto Rico. I want to play it, and stream it. So yeah, I'm going to wait on that, but looking forward to that as well. But I just love my sister finally experiencing a Xenoblade game. She loves the No Pawn. That's like the first test. Like, if you don't like No Pawn in the Xenoblade series, you probably might as well walk out.
Not to mention like the best No Pawn ever.
Yeah, Ricky. Oh my god, she instantly fell in love with him. I'm like, yes, she passes.
Yes.
There's some Ricky slander on the timeline I've been seeing the last few weeks, and I'm like, listen, y'all better not. I love Ricky. I love the whole cast, honestly.
The other thing is that like Ricky is like I've seen like arguments in between like like Ricky and Tora for Xenoblade 2, but to give you like the hard truth, guys, is that you can argue like between the two all you want. However, all you can agree is that no one gave a shit for a certain No Pawn in Xenoblade X.
Yeah, put Tatsu in the fucking trash. Everyone can unite on that. Waste of space, not even a party member. He got so old with that running gag. That's also partially Lynn's fault too. I like her, but damn, that running gag got old. But yeah, it's God, it's solid. But that's pretty much been it for me. I know we're going on pretty long as it is, but the news segment will be pretty short.
I actually do have like one more story to share before we go on to news.
Yeah, well, I'm not completely done, but I'll let you go first. I was going to talk about the PC.
Oh, okay. I was going to say like I'll do a segue like after your PC story is done.
Yeah. Oh, so you want me to go first then?
Yep, let's go.
Okay. So yeah, the only other major thing that I finally ended up doing was just while I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, the laptop started acting up again. A lot of OBS crashes kept happening on the daily, like for 4 or 5 days in a row, and I was like, you know what? I know Shin, if I can't remember the last time I mentioned him on the podcast. He's another friend that I know from Monster Hunter days from way back, and he's very PC savvy. So he told me, or at least recommended rather, to wait until next year if I wanted to get a desktop. Strictly on the fact that the next gen GPUs are coming out by Nvidia, and that's obviously with the PS5 and everything else coming out. What next gen? It is a safer bet to wait until that like stabilizes, so you could get like overall better like future proof and performance for that stuff leading into it. But I told them like, listen, 1920 1080p 60, I'm fine. It's what I know, it's what I've been used to. If I can just reach that, I'm good. So that was like a few weeks back, and then the laptop OBS crashes kept happening. I was just like, I'm just getting tired of this, because when the OBS program crashes when I'm midstream, I can't even open it up again, because then when I try to open up again, I just get a pop-up saying like, oh, you don't meet the GPU requirements to run OBS, and I'm like, but I just did, right? Like, I don't know what's going on. That laptop's been having issues for a while now, and I'm very patient, but when I do have some money, ironically enough, thanks to unemployment benefits, I hate this timeline. Where I actually finally have the money to buy things that I would like. You know, like I wanted to save up for a desktop PC for years, and I could just get one because of the unemployment claims and whatnot, which isn't gonna last forever. But you know, nonetheless, it'd be like that. So, I finally ordered one. Sadly, with this economy as well, it is easier or a safer choice to buy something pre-built than make your own. So, while I do not have the experience of being able to make my own yet, I'd imagine when I, buy a new video card or something, I'll have to learn to, put it in there and, thermal paste and all that shit.
Yeah, like putting like video cards is like really easier than you think.
Hmm.
But like one thing like I will tell you, you definitely avoided like the hardest part of like building PCs, right? Is is tying up your wires.
That's what
Dude,
Shin told me. Cable management is the worst part.
dude, literally I had to like get my friend to do my cable management for me because
God,
it sucks, man. It's a pain like to do.
I'm terrified for if I ever have to do it. Um,
like you don't have to worry about it like in case you're doing like getting like new parts.
yeah.
But for something for like graphics card or anything, like it's pretty easy peasy up. But cable management, that's freaking hell right there.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hear. But yeah, so ended up ordering one from iBuyPower, and it worked out of the box with no issues. There was an issue, but it's completely external and stupid, which I'll get into. But it works great. It's got like a 2070 Super. It's got a 10th gen CPU. Pretty good, decent motherboard. But mainly those two things are like what generally matters. But it's solid. We tested Doom Eternal on stream, and it worked like over 60 frames on ultra nightmare settings, which is like max settings for Doom Eternal, it's insane to just have a game that I just played on PS4 like a couple months back and enjoyed it, and then just suddenly being able to play it on PC, like, is a serious case of whiplash for me, because I never would have thought I could run something like that, on a PC. And then like a few days later after making the order, it's like, oh, suddenly it's just like a light switch right now. I'm just like, oh god, does this have a PC port? Right? Like now I'm one of those people where I'm just like, now I want to play everything on PC if I can. Unless it's like for online, playing with friends reasons. But holy shit, it's fantastic to finally be able to have something that just works and is great. And it didn't cost a ton. I was expecting in like the 2,000 range, but it was I'd say like with tax, it was like about 1,600, which is still pretty high. I don't exactly have money to burn, so for me that's still a hefty investment, no doubt. Yep. But I was looking at prices with Shin, and I was like, ultimately, I could get another gaming laptop, but it's like, it's at a point where laptops don't really have good cooling in them, and if you're going to try to go for intensive gaming in general on a laptop, there's a point where you're just like, enough's enough, Laptops aren't really designed for that. Yes, they keep pushing it, but it's not really great for that, Like, it'll overheat like a bitch, like, if you really try to go that hard on it, It's these things that are just, like, not really meshing well. And even then, you can't... The biggest part was obviously that you can't update them or enhance them later on. You could, I think, add, like, some RAM, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's like the only downsides when it comes to, like, laptops. Is that you can only upgrade just a few things, not everything.
Yeah, so I was like, well, it would have been great, because, like, my dilemma was, the order was being made before the trip to Puerto Rico, so I was like, okay, well, I could get a gaming laptop and take it with me and enjoy the benefits there, or go for a desktop and ultimately, in the long run, update it in the future. And it's already pretty future-proof, like I said. Like, the video, or the GPU needs, like, an upgrade at some point. But the 10th gen processor is going to last a good while, from what Shin told me, because that's like pretty modern. Yeah. I think it came out like this year, right? So it's pretty damn good, for the price of what I got. So yeah, we ended up, going with the desktop just for those reasons. Like, you kind of got to convince yourself. I also did not know about this too. If anybody's like worried about this, whoever you might be. So I didn't know this was a thing because my big concern was also whenever I move in the future. I don't know where at the moment with the situation, but I was worried about how people could ship a desktop or move stuff around until I found out, and sure enough, that's how iBuyPower packs their boxes and send them over to you with the desktop pre-built. I did not know about this thing called Instapack. Do you know about this at all, Soul?
Ah, no, actually.
So Instapack is this really cool thing that we looked up before placing the desktop order just to see how it could future proof like shipping or moving this stuff. Because like Shin said, like, oh well, if you're gonna move, why don't you just like drive with a U-Haul and take it over there? It's like that's not gonna happen. Probably by plane and then like ship stuff over in boxes or find some other method. But the way Instapack works is that it's basically like it's akin to bubble wrap, but it's almost like memory foam as well. So the way it works is that it starts off as like a flat like package, and I guess like you tap on it to like get it going inside, and internally like the air starts like expanding, and you basically put it inside the desktop case itself, and it will fit the mold to just basically like cushion all the cables and stuff. You just got to close the case like fast, but it basically fits that mold. And that's how you can put more safety on packaging. And that's like the first thing I had to get rid of was like get rid of the Instapack that it had inside the case when they shipped it over here. And I did not know about that thing even existing, because that was my biggest fear, was just getting a desktop and being like, all right, if I got to move this thing somewhere in the future, like how stressful is it going to be? And that was a solution that was apparently solved long ago. So that's fantastic. I don't know the full name of it, but yeah, it's just called Instapack. You could find it online. It's not cheap. I think it's close to around like 20-ish bucks. But ultimately, if it's just for a big move you're gonna do, that's worth the price. But yeah, I did not know that was a thing. I was like, holy shit. Sometimes technology is nuts. I don't know how people like made that happen, but yeah.
Dude, like, I better keep that in the future whenever I have to like send my PC for upgrades to my buddies.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because dude, like before, like I have to like carefully just like carry like the entire like PC case like into his car.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Instapack makes it pretty safe. All things considered. But the only other thing that I have to say is that, of course, there was a bit of a nightmare story, but it is the dumbest like troubleshooting issue I've ever had, and I know we're going pretty lengthy as it is, but this is so dumb that I have to share it on the podcast because people will just feel like they're losing brain cells as I tell this.
All right.
So I'll keep it brief, but I gotta let you guys know I wasted an entire day of my life and Shin's because of this stupid thing. So it worked out of the box flawlessly. But when we went to troubleshoot Doom Eternal and we did the stream, we kept hearing this very loud alarm noise, and that was a night before you showed up to the stream, Soul, because when you showed up was when we got that thing fixed. So remember how you said, oh man, thank God for Livy mentioning those battery backup surge protectors. So I bought one, and it's been working great. I love this street. So it's been working great. And until I plugged in the PC into it, right? Because I was like, okay, well, I don't want this to happen again, so I thought, let me put it in the surge protector. Done deal. However, I forgot that battery backup has a alarm for whenever the battery runs low, or I think when the watts are too high, or the voltage rather.
Yep.
So it would happen on and off, and the battery backup surge protector is like underneath my desk against a wall, right? And there's usually like a light indicator on the power button on it, but I can't see it. So when we started the stream and doing Doom Eternal, then we heard that. I was like, what is going on? Why am I hearing this? Where is it? Because it's like, it's below my monitor, because like my monitor, the new monitor that I got, which works great, it's like a 1 millisecond response time, 144 hertz, it's great. Also it's a IPS monitor, so the fun part is not getting it mixed up with ISP. But anyway, it's great. But yeah, the entire time I was like, okay, there's like a noise coming from somewhere, but I had my headphones on, or like my headset, so I was like, is it coming from the headphones itself, or is it like external? I could not tell. So we spent hours troubleshooting, because I did not know that it was the surge protector, until like the next day, when we were like running out of options. Like we literally like booted up BIOS like multiple times. We reinstalled GPU drivers, like we checked like USB ports, like every single thing, until we finally said like, all right, screw it. If it's coming from like the motherboard, because at the time we had no idea where the sound was coming from, but it was just somewhere external. We confirmed that after a while. And when I was ready to just like move the desktop a bit to like try to like get my ear close to it, just to know if it's coming from like the GPU or somewhere else, because apparently Shinta, some of those are equipped with like noise, I guess. So, like if something's like overheating or something, I'm not sure what he told me, but that is an actual thing that happens. Like they could actually make that sound or an alarm. So as I was on the floor and was trying to listen in on the case to see like, okay, is it coming from here? Then I look down to my left and see that it's actually not coming from there, because logically the sound will get closer or louder. And then I finally learned that it was coming from the surge protector, flashing yellow instead of green. And then I felt like the biggest fucking idiot because of so many hours wasted. Because we troubleshooted a lot, man. Like, dude even called Asus. Like, Shin called Asus and they can't help. And I was like, sure enough, they couldn't help. Because this is an entirely stupid situation. So, we spent hours, dude, like, literally a day of my life just wasted because we were troubleshooting. Like, we were in troubleshooting hell. And it was just that. It was the fucking surge protector that I could not see from underneath making that noise. And I could not tell where it was coming from. Because, like, with it being directly beneath the desk, I was like, is it from the monitor? Is it from the desktop, like, right next to me? Like, I couldn't tell where the source was coming from until we just troubleshooted the hell out of it, until I finally figured it out when I was at the ground. I was like, God damn it. So much time wasted, and it worked perfectly fine out of the box, dude. That's why, like, when you said, like, oh, thank God for those battery backups, I'm like, yeah. It's great if I don't plug in that desktop. Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh my God, I was so frustrated, man. It's the dumbest troubleshooting I've ever done to date.
Dude. Like, it reminds me, like, when I did, like, my first upgrade, like, with my friend who, convinced me to, like, upgrade, my PC, right?
Yeah.
Where I did have, like, a similar NieR story, except mine was a different issue, where we were trying to figure out, like, why. So he gave me this graphics card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we plugged it in, and to the motherboard, and obviously, like, obviously he was like doing his stuff, right, making sure everything is all plugged in, and everything. So for I believe like a week, we're trying to find out why in the hell this thing is not starting up again. Why the hell, like, the graphics card is not working?
Yeah.
And I was, like, trying to, like, find out, and then he even, like, sent a friend of ours. Like, we were trying to figure, like, like, if it was, like, a Windows issue, he tried to install, like, different, like, versions of Windows.
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
A bunch of things. Until I found out that, like, my friend, like, I was thinking of giving him shit for this, that I opened, like, the case, right? And expecting the motherboard. And somehow, somewhere, I don't know how the hell, like, he missed this. That this dude forgot to plug in the cable that connects the graphics card to the power supply.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That's all it took. like from a week to not to make sure like what the hell was going on with my graphics card. Like I didn't plug in like those connectors.
Oh man, this is the worst, man. You're just like, why is this thing not working out of the box? Did everything right? Like it's just, it really fucks with your mind. We're just like, what is going on? And there were a few times where I should have like, noticed where I was like, huh, why is no one else that buys power PCs having this issue, right? Like at that point I should have realized like, wait, it's a me problem. It's actually a me problem because it's something not related to the desktop itself. I should have looked around, but oh my god, it was so dumb. Like God bless Shin for real, just like putting up with this bullshit. Because I know he was frustrated too when I told him what happened. Oh my god, like you can't do anything but laugh in frustration. Fuck.
Dude, it's the same thing like with my friend, right? Is that like he also like laughed it up after like I bitched at him, like being like, "Why the hell didn't you notice? Let's say this certain plug."
God.
When you were like installing this thing for me.
Pretty much. Ugh.
Shit, but
it'd be like that. But I was just gonna say like I'm just before I just give it to you completely. I'm just glad to have this. I'm glad it just works. It's great. I haven't really had any issues so far. I'm excited to... I've mentioned it for a while now, but truly excited to mess with some video editing programs now that I got the RAM and the specs to handle, that stuff. But once again, I can't do it until I come back from vacation, so it'll happen in the future. But now there's really no more excuses aside from time, But, I'm just super glad to finally be joining the master race and all the problems that entails. This shit is not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be some annoyances. I know for sure. Be some.
Trust me. Like, I wouldn't say master race. I would say master race with an asterisk right there.
Yeah, no, that's how I was like. I say it like almost mockingly because like people know, but I feel like they say that knowing that, like you said, there's like a fuck ton of wires and hoops you gotta jump through. Oh my god.
And also programs as well, man.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of annoying things with PC gaming, before we get onto the news story is
right, I think I know what you're gonna talk about.
So I was checking out Phantasy Star Online 2.
Right, I can't believe I forgot to mention that.
I can't really, like, I just remember like right now, but whatever. So, basically what happened is that me and Shirian, right? We did, like, the early download, like, day one.
Vex was trying to do it as well, right?
No, it wasn't, like, after, though. Like, I remember, like, it was, like, the night before they launched, right?
Yeah.
Where they were doing, like, pre-downloads.
Yeah.
So, it was, like, me and Shirian, right? And, obviously... I was like downloading, getting the main game, and then getting the updates and everything. While Shirian's issue was just her connection was being a bitch.
Just to like download it.
Yeah, just to download like the game, right? And then I was telling Shirian, I was like, hey, I was like grabbing Phantasy Star Online 2. Let me know like which ship to go to, etc. Right? And then when I woke up, actually, so I got it downloaded, right? And then, obviously, everything, seems fine for now. And then next day, I woke up, I got, like, a bunch of messages, like, from Shin telling me, like, his horror stories was installation with, like, Phantasy Star Online 2.
Did he, like, DM you or something? Because I was like, yeah.
Dude, he, like, he sent me, like, a bunch of DMs telling me, like... Oh, I was like, the game's not working. Oh, wait, it's just, they haven't, like, opened the service yet. So, when he, boot up the game, it didn't want to launch. Like...
Yikes.
He literally had to do, like, lots of things just in order to boot up the game. And then the same day, like, Vex, was downloading the game, because obviously she was also, waiting to play this game for a long time.
Yeah.
And oh my god, she was so cursed that she downloaded the game and it refused to launch.
God.
And then she deletes the game, re-downloads it, and then it will not launch.
Oh my god. So then it's like, what, 3 games worth of space?
Dude, it's like I think like around between 69 to 70 gigs
Jesus Christ.
worth of it. Like here, so the way it works in the Windows Store, right, is that first you download like 11 gigs from the store,
Yeah.
and then you have to get like download the rest of the files from this update launcher. That will total amount like to between 60 to 70 gigs.
Yeah.
And holy shit, I like that was like the biggest waste of bandwidth for Vex to order delay to make this game work and play.
I can imagine, especially for especially with ISPs that have like data caps and shit. Oh my god, that must have been a stressful night for so many people. I can't even comprehend it.
It's a nightmare like for everyone with like strict data caps, especially like during these trying times.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad for me, like I have like unlimited, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still try to be like really super careful because I don't want to be like, you know, get butt fucked by my ISP.
Pretty much. It'll happen anyway, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so I was thinking like she gave up, and then it was like only like me and Shirion, and then eventually Shin got her games working. So I was like checking out the game, and then making my character, checking all the stuff, packing which race I want, my classes and everything. In case anybody is wondering, I went with a Dooman. I also went with the Braver class because I want to use katanas.
Yeah.
Thanks, to the gameplay looking very DMC Virgil. Like, the movesets is very DMC, and you also have like this ridiculous counter. That's just Royal Guard from DMC.
Oh man.
It's really super fun, but I will predict this man might pick a different class when he joins PSO2. So
I might. The thing is, I haven't seen any footage. I'm trying not to. I want to go in pretty much blind. But yeah, I guess I'll see the classes when I get there. Unless, would you recommend looking up class footage to kind of get a better idea? I don't know how bad the menus don't really do a good job or anything.
So I would definitely will send you a video just to make sure, because unlike with other MMOs where with FF14, right, all that matters is what's more preference to you.
Yeah.
While with PSO2 is you have to be very careful which race you pick and which class you mix it with.
Oh, so it really isn't just preference, and that's it. It actually matters.
Yeah. So for example, my Dooman class really is suitable for the Braver class.
Is it they all have different stat growths or something, or?
Yeah, they have different, definitely different stats growths, etc. Because for example, for the Doomans, they're more obviously attack, more aggressive.
Yeah.
Aggressive heavy with their stats, and they're a glass cannon as well. So
makes sense.
Yeah. And obviously for humans they're the jack of all trades. So I'll definitely will send you later on. So anyway, so back to the story is so everything is going fine, right? And then eventually there's these groups called Arc Slayer that made this tweaker.
Yeah.
In order to fix the game that is still taking a long time for this dev group to fix the issues during maintenance, etc. Right?
They still haven't, have they?
So far they managed to fix the lobby lag, other stuff, but as for installation issues, I'm not sure how much progress they did. So I would say at the tweaker, right? I installed it just because I mostly use this because the UI is more simpler. It will let me configure more things, right?
Yeah.
Where I will let me set my resolution properly along with the fonts, etc. And the main point was to fix my issue with lobby lag.
Yep.
Because if I tried to launch it with the main launcher that the game came with, right, from the Windows Store,
mm-hmm.
there is this horrible lobby lag that I could not bear. And with the tweaker, they actually managed to adjust it. Just to make sure I can, go around the lobby.
Yeah.
Without feeling sick.
God.
So, everything was going fine, right? Until one day where I boot up like my Windows drive. And then suddenly, everything went back to default. Like,
oh boy.
Not the game, but just my entire like Windows setup.
Yeah.
Like, it was like desktop wallpaper, all the icons were appearing that I did not even put before.
Like system restore type shit?
No, it was like super weird, man. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? Let me just turn it off. Let me just not like reboot, right? Let me just turn it off and then turn it on. Everything was back to normal, right? And then suddenly, my files got nuked.
What the fuck, man?
Like, I was starting like Tweaker, and Tweaker was like, "Oh, we can't find your PS2 files." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then, lo and behold, I found my files, and they just didn't want to work. They were just completely nuked.
Oh boy.
And the thing is that I heard horror stories of like nuked files from like on Twitter and many other places that people have like downloaded and played PSO2. And the only thing I could do was like, you know what? Let me try to salvage this, right? Where let me like erase the junk files, like all the stuff that got nuked. Making sure like wipe it clean, because the weird thing about it, right, is that on the Windows Store it will say, "Oh, do you want to reinstall the game?" I'm like, "No, the game is like already on my PC."
Yeah.
So I had to clean it up, right? Because those nuke files is that I had to do like I had to research a lot of things in order to remove them because they were like eating up a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness, for this one person that sent out like a PowerShell script or whatever to obviously take control of this folder and delete it so I can get my space back. And then let me try installing the alternative way, which thank goodness for this team where you can install this game without like downloading away from the Windows Store.
Yeah, that would help.
So obviously this was my first attempt, right? Where first thing I did is I torrented the files which they provided, and then I skimmed over the instructions, being like, you know what, I can just do this, right? And then somehow it just did not want to connect. It just could not connect, to the Windows Store, letting it know like, oh, I have the game installed.
Yeah.
So I just friggin' like gave up, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wait till like Steam version.
God, the worst. Yeah.
And then after like funny enough is that like I think the day after where you get your problem fixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? Let me try to attempt this again and follow the instructions carefully and not skim it. So I did everything again, right? And the good thing is that like, I still saved the torrented files that I downloaded because I made sure like you know what, I'm gonna save them just in case I'm gonna attempt this method again. So I followed the instructions, did everything, making sure everything is all installed, right? And then I came to the part where, oh, I'm missing, this blah, 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 blah in order to connect to the Windows Store. So obviously I did some research. I had to get this PowerShell script, and then this PowerShell script tells me, oh yeah, go to this link. You're gonna need like a few files in this folder in order to finish this process. So I grab those files, I put them in, I run this thing again, obviously get it scanned and everything, and then bam, I was finally back in PSO2.
Thank God.
Like, holy crap, like I can't believe like what it took is I need to follow the instructions carefully and obviously follow step by step and check for other sources, if there's like any additional steps that I was missing in those instructions.
Yeah.
So obviously, like I was happy that like I didn't lose my progress. Everything was there.
But then
Obviously,
also
like
frustrated because fuck the Microsoft Store for buying anything.
yep, because I was gonna say like yeah, like the Windows Store is a mistake, man.
This is why people think, like, oh man, there are some people that think PC gaming's great, and this is why people complain about multiple different launchers, because you don't know what kind of crapshoot you're gonna get. Nothing's stable. If it was just a different branded, like company branded launcher, but they all work the same, nobody would be complaining. Everybody would completely download them, no problem. But that's why whenever a new storefront comes out for PC, everyone groans, because everyone knows there's gonna be issues. No doubt. Good lord. What a
Yeah,
mess.
dude, literally that Windows Store is that like it's a mistake, man. Like I understand like if people like use it in order to get like proper crossplay for like Killer Instinct,
Yeah.
but I'm just glad like Killer Instinct's on Steam so that I don't have to deal with that.
Do I still get
But
crossplay if I get Color Instinct on Steam?
you can only do crossplay on casual matches.
Oh man. Okay. I'll have to
Yeah,
consider that then. I still haven't bought it, but I'm just thinking.
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about getting it too, but the thing is, I still have PTSD from nuked files. But
I don't blame you.
so, anyways, I like I'm just happy that like I am back. I'm here. I'm just like currently like at the lobby is like Sonic theme playing Station Square all day long. I'm just like collecting like rings of joy, and then typing. I gotta go fast, and I got free stuff. I got a Sonic mask, gaming mask, a Sega logo that spins around in my room.
How long is that event for?
Uh, I'm not sure. I think until like Tuesday, but I'm not sure though. But they also like
Wait, Tuesday?
yeah, I think like Tuesday, but
Fuck. Wait, did
but
PSO ever have like, do they ever do reruns?
yeah, I mean, I heard like they usually do reruns. I mean, thankfully this is a Sega collab, so
That's true. Oh, I just hope I didn't miss out, because I'm like, I do not have enough time to like set it up and get the free shit.
oh no, don't worry, man. Like, thankfully it's a Sega like crossover, so if it was like something NieR, I would tell you to get on that shit right now.
Yeah, no, hopefully they rerun. I'm sure they will, but you never know. I might be kicking myself a month later, but yeah.
Everybody knows. I mean, we might get like another collab by the time you join.
Yeah. Or
Because
during
like
vacation.
yeah, the weird thing like about like a collabs, right, is that I think like during the day like before my pre-nuke days, where like I think the only collab that was there was it was the Vocaloid collab,
Yeah.
and me and Shirin we actually got to see a Vocaloid concert in this game.
Oh my god.
And the shopping plaza, like Shirin was like, "Oh yeah, you want to go see a concert?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" And Lord, and suddenly, I see freaking like Miku and Luca just like dancing around. I'm like, wow.
What a time to be alive.
I'm like, dude, I never knew like this game had this feature. And then after that, like they replaced. They still did the concerts, right? But they used their own like original character. But like, look forward when we take you to your first concert.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm also really excited for the PC as well that I got, because everybody's getting into like PSO2, and I was like, I don't know if this thing can run it well. Like this laptop, like I just do not have the confidence. I know it's an old game, but what factoring streaming into the mix, I was like, this is probably not going to run the way I want, period, right? So I'm just like, Thank God when I jump in, I can just enjoy it at the best performance, and just enjoy everybody. I'm just so relieved.
Dude, you're gonna like overshoot this compared to like F14, because the specs like it demands, right? It's like toaster quality compared to F14. Like F14 demanded like so much juice.
Yeah. Man, but was there anything else to yours?
No, that's all. That's basically like My troubleshooting horror stories way from the past week.
Man. I guess
Alright.
at some point, hopefully in like a month, I don't have to deal with it, but we'll see. Probably still gonna have to deal with the Microsoft Store, so I'm gonna learn when I come back.
Yeah, I'll just like instruct you what to do and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely doing it when like Shin's over there on Discord, so I can show him exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I was
But
gonna say I'll teach you the method, because like I
yeah.
know like Shin he only has it he still has like his Windows Store files with the tweaker.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like if I need to do the other method, which is that method better or?
It's actually way better.
Okay.
Cause trust me, like it will save you like the sanity
Okay.
of like downloading from Windows Store and then regret it later.
Yeah.
Which is why both Shirion and Shin are worried that they're gonna get cursed soon, like me.
Good lord. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see when we get there. But for now, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll join you eventually. Probably after Future Connected, because that's like the first priority number one when I come back is I gotta do Future Connected, because I know my sister, now that she's invested, I gotta see all it has with Definitive Edition. So
Yeah, and I definitely have stuff to say like when you get to it,
yeah.
because that was like the only thing I did when I got to Xenoblade.
Oh, of course, yeah. You don't need to play the main story. For me, I was like, well, if she's on board, and also I haven't played in 8 years, I definitely have to. I did not want to do Future Connected.
Yeah, and plus I was like an impatient baby, so they allowed me to do it.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing though. I'm glad they did. Like for people that are returning, I'm glad they just let you choose. That's always a great choice. But yeah, we're not gonna ramble too much more because it's already been 2 hours. So
Yep. Whoa.
love this street. Every time, man, I cannot wait, dude. Like, if there's one thing I'm looking forward to for this vacation is getting away from this street. Like people blasting their music out of these cars, which isn't even good music.
Yeah.
And then the motorcycles. There's fireworks every single night. I'm not even kidding. For some reason, there's fireworks every single night. Go back and watch my Xenoblade streams, and they will go off every time. The street is dumb. I'm so tired of it.
I hear ya.
But yeah, we're going into the news. Don't want to waste any time unless did you have to leave for a moment or take a break, or you good?
No, let's do this thing.
Okay. So we are back for the news segment, everybody. Always like going through these just to kind of give the time capsule of what our reactions were, what's going on. For some games that I think we're both pretty open-minded when it comes to genres. Like I'm down for almost anything, but there are certain kinds that just really strike that itch. And man, speaking of striking that itch, that is for games that I haven't played in a while, and it's just filling that void. Holy shit. So there are a few May ones, like one or two, honestly, very small, that are just, we gotta talk about them. We're not gonna ignore these. So actually I think it's only this one. But yeah, so this one was the announcement from May 12th. Oh, also really quick, forgot to mention, I think the day, was it the night of or the day later where Last Blade 2 got announced for rollback? I think
Oh my
right
God.
after we finished the podcast. It was
No, it was it was after we were done recording, dude.
You said
God
the videos,
damn.
are you kidding me with that? So we still gotta mess with that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just really cool to see that. Just like Garo, or as Max says, Gauro, makes you laugh every time. Last Blade 2 got rolled back by Code Mystic, so that one's gonna play great, and it's officially out now. So if you haven't, get on that. That's another SNK classic fighting game. It's very fun. It has like 2 different styles you could play with for each character. It's very fun. From what I played.
Yeah, and also for those that have that bought the Code Mystics PS4 version, you actually have the update to get the rollback.
Yep. But I just wanted to mention that too, because I was like, that's horrendous timing. I was like, I can't believe this. Sometimes we have some curse luck here. But
Can't wait for it again.
I mean, I already know tomorrow there's going to be a trailer that, we'll miss out on, but we'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah, continuing on from that. So the thing that we got to talk about from May is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was announced for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Oh my lord, people. I was not expecting this. This came out of nowhere. And yeah, it's coming out later this year on September. But I think if you pre-order, you get a warehouse demo, which I'm not really going to mess with. I'll just wait till the full thing's out. I already played the original game years ago. I'll just look up footage or anything if I want to see comparisons. But this is pretty dope. At first I was skeptical like Soul was, but then as I saw who was behind it and working on it, it gives me a lot of hope. So long story short, it was announced. People made a big fuss about Epic Games Store, which I'm like, it sucks, but it's not that I'm getting numb to it. I'm just getting tired of it. I'm like, I'm not going to do this song and dance every time. They're clearly not changing. But yeah, it looked pretty good. We only had like one trailer. A lot of the songs that are back. I think one of my favorite tweets that I saw on the day of was just that, man, I can't believe that ska's coming back in like 2020, or like the single game's gonna revive the entire ska genre.
Dude, please do, because I miss that genre so much. Like, dude, like, I can't believe, like, I'm alive right now, and you're telling me that we're getting Pro Skater 1 and 2 again, and also not full price.
Yeah, it's a budget launch. I'm just, thank God, because obviously you got some stuff to say on this, but for me, I only played 1 and 2 on PS1. I played a bit of Pro Skater 3 on PS2, but I never owned it. It was like part of like a rec center that kids went to after school hours. But I messed with it when the PS2 was like set up with that game on it. But I never got to really play 3 and 4. It just kind of passed me by. Never played Underground. Heard that one's pretty good too. But, after 1 and 2, that was like my history with the series, as a kid. But I'm super glad this is coming back. And I think it was also enhanced with, what do they call their mechanic? Was it Revert?
Yeah, Revert.
Yeah, okay. Because I always second guess. I was like, is it Revert or Reverb? It's so close. But yeah, apparently they're adding that to this one, which is fantastic. Because I remember like spamming the hell out of that on 3 just to keep the lines going. It was really good. So I'm glad they kind of added it into this, because I feel like every game benefits from that, honestly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've mentioned it multiple times on this podcast, and we will continue to do so. What year is it? Because 2020, for as shitty as it is, it's this weird anomaly of old things coming back, and yet new stuff's happening, but like so much old stuff is coming back that I'm just like, man, I just talked about Trials of Mana. I played 7 Remake. Like, this is coming back. Xenoblade Chronicles came back. Like,
dude, like, even like old animes are coming back. Like,
yeah.
Friggin' like, we're getting like a sequel to Inuyasha, and then a Brotherhood treatment reboot for Shaman King.
Yeah. This year is weird, man.
Dude.
It's like this point where it's like, now it feels like for a while when like I'd see like movies or like, Netflix shows and stuff, it's like, oh man, hey, do you guys remember the 80s? I feel like now we're really reaching that point where it's like, hey guys, you remember the 90s? And I'm like, yes, now it's my turn.
Remember like the 90s and the early 2000s? Dude.
Oh, man.
Like, I just can't believe like we're getting like old shit again. And it doesn't help, like, I'm watching old stuff, like, over the past months as well that I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Check out Common Writer. Shit. I forgot which cover.
It's a Common Writer.
Yes, it is a Common Writer.
It's cool though. Don't worry about it. But I know you said that you were skeptical on it, but
Yes, here's the reason why. Because
yeah.
like this isn't like the first time like Pro Skater 1 and 2 came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is last time did is that they released a game called Tony Hawk HD.
Yeah, which I did
like,
not know about whatsoever until you mentioned it. I was like, I didn't know this thing existed.
It barely had any marketing. It only came out for like the 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
And all I remember is that it was weird and no one was happy with it.
Oof.
And especially there was like a certain level, I believe it was like Venice Beach.
Yeah.
I think it was Venice Beach, one of the beach levels where it had like the incorrect lighting and setting.
Really? What?
Yeah. Because like like how the beach usually looks like, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like super blue.
Yeah. What, they make it like a sunset or something?
It
Or
was like
golden
super
hour?
orange. It was
yeah,
it was
fuck, they tried to do golden hour. Wow, that's so dumb. God.
it was really dumb.
Yuck. Yeah, I would not be a fan of that. Give me the blues, please. But yeah, that's the thing too. I heard that one was like a quick cash in, because that's the thing. That was back in the time when like Pro Skater 5 was like coming out, I think, afterwards. And they were just trying to keep the license and trying to milk it for as much as it could before it ran out. So they really just rushed the hell out of those things. And it's just like, guys, what are you doing? That's always what I hate too. I remember like with the Spider-Man series, like they just had to keep making those movies for before that license expires. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, just make one when it comes out. I hate the corporate side of things sometimes, man.
Yeah, same here, man. Like, especially when it comes to like Tony Hawk. Like, I thought like Tony Hawk was like truly dead.
Yeah. How long has it been since Pro Skater 5? I don't know. It was like early PS4, Xbox One. I think it was like 2015.
Yeah, I think it was like around 20. I think it was either 2014 or 20. I know. Yeah, it was like 2015 actually.
Damn. Yeah, it was like 5 years with no signs of it coming back until this.
Yeah, I mean, the only last moment we got was just a disc that needed updated in order to play the game.
Yeah. Oh man, but the thing that does give me hope is that Vicarious Visions is at the helm for this one, which they did a great job with the recent Insane trilogy, which Crash will be brought up again later, but they did a really good job with that. They also did a lot of Game Boy Advance Crash games, as well as a lot of Game Boy Advance games in general. They had like a really good, honestly, considering it's a GBA, like 3D engine for a lot of stuff, which led to them doing ports of the Pro Skater games as well on Game Boy Advance, which ran pretty well, I've heard. At least, I think 2 or 3, one of them like was done by Vicarious Visions, and it was actually pretty solid. It might have been 3 and 4, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think it might have been 3 and 4. And
Yeah.
I also do like their Wii ports of the Guitar Hero series.
Yeah, but they usually do pretty good work. But the icing on the cake is that apparently OG devs from Neversoft are actually working on this, which I don't know, that surprised me, because I thought, like, it's so weird with like series. It's like I'm thinking that they're just long gone. You can't find these people again, right?
Yes, it was like my reaction like when I saw like the staff behind for Super Bomberman R, and they managed to get like some of the Hudson Soft staff that worked on the Bomberman series.
Yeah. It's just like, it's dope. So I'm like, honestly, if it's Vicarious Visions and like Neversoft at the helm with this thing, I don't doubt it's gonna be, a good job. Hopefully Activision just like doesn't get their grubby mitts on it and ruins it. If they can just leave them be and just let them do what they want. I think they at least know a little bit after seeing how successful the Crash series and like Spyro has been. I feel like they understand a little better to just let them do what they want. If it's a nostalgia, like reboot and just like coming back for fans, like I think they know when to just shut up and not mess with it, unless you count Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, which still bums me out because they, whoever made that choice, that drives me insane with the the microtransactions. Hope to God they don't mess it up with Tony Hawk, because this series does not need it. If you're gonna come back after 5 years, leave them alone. Let them make a good game. Let it just be a feel-good thing for, 90s fans or anybody who's just played the series in general and just wants to play them. Because Pro Skater 2 is probably one of the most important sequels ever made. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. It's highly regarded. It's a huge fucking deal when it came out. Nearly everyone had it. Like, don't mess with that. So, here's hoping it's good and not trash.
Yeah, and I just hope, like, the only, like, corporate things it's only just for skins, and that's it.
Yeah, like, you can do skins, but that's it.
Yeah, if it's like skins for, like, characters or their skateboards, whatever.
Yeah, because I didn't know there's, like, a digital deluxe, like it's saying up here, and it's like, okay, just keep it to cosmetics. That's it. That's it.
And yeah, and I also noticed, like, in one of the collector's edition, the collector's edition, where no, it wasn't a collector's edition. It was a pre-order stuff where I got like a flyer from EB Games, right? Mm-hmm. And like if you pre-order Tony Hawk, you get a sick ass fingerboard.
Yeah, this one's like $100. Or you say it was just for pre-order, and you're playing. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's an EB Games exclusive, right? It was like, oh yeah, in order for EB Games, you get a sick ass fingerboard.
Fucking tech decks are back, bro.
Yeah, man.
God. Yeah, but that's really cool. We'll just keep it going. I'm excited for that. My sister's also excited too, because that's the thing. We don't really grow up with the Pro Skater series too much, but everybody knows about 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? Like, I feel like the first 4 games are the ones that are like highly regarded. Underground as well, I know, has its fans, but
yeah, most of the like the first 4 are like the most known ones.
Yeah, 5 never existed.
5 definitely never existed.
Oh man.
The other cool thing I will point out, like for Pro Skater, right, is that I like how they kept like the same roster, but they actually brought them in of how they look like currently instead of like making them look younger.
Yeah. The skaters, they look pretty old. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
I'm like, dude, like it's like. It's like bringing Steve Buscemi. He's like perfect for this roster.
Pretty much. But yeah, looking forward to it. Hopefully the launch goes well. Again, I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect out of the park, but we'll see. I got high hopes. Considering the staff that's on board, I got high hopes. Hopefully they nail it, because 5 years, man, I don't think they can afford to screw up, but we'll see.
Hopefully, because especially this was like one of Tony Hawk's birthday present.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like happy birthday to me, and just announce it. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, and also I actually do remember one thing is that I actually remember the title, Kamen Rider Kuga. Watch Kamen Rider Kuga on Tubi TV. Definitely not sponsored.
Okay. I already made the Linne joke, and I was just like, oh my god. Every time.
So what do we have here?
Well, speaking of not, having the opportunity to mess up, so I just wanted to briefly talk about this. A lot of people already talked about it, but just really quickly. So this is a pretty good first step, because I was so worried with Guilty Gear Strive and just not, honestly, a lot of devs in general. Transparency is really bad when it comes to giving us updates as to what's going on in development. Because then that's how a lot of speculation and, like, stuff that's not accurate happens. Especially when, we mentioned on the last episode, we played with the beta. It was disappointing in quite a few ways, but once you could get in there, it was pretty fun. Just different. But, yeah, this is Guilty Gear Strive, doing, I guess, a series. This is apparently Volume 1, but I don't think they've even put out a Volume 2 at the moment. Where it's a developer's backyard, as they call it. So they're giving us insight as to what happened with the poll results and what they're taking from that. Some things I disagree with. I don't know if you've seen the results of this like a while back, Soul.
Oh, dude, I seen this was like the first thing like that pop up when I woke up.
Yeah, I was just like, I kind of get where you're going, but in some ways, I wish you
Yeah,
weren't. You know?
I'm like like I'll give you credit for like talking about the feedback, but I think there's some things I think you may need to reconsider as
Same,
well.
same. So like, we'll get into it super quick. There's a lot of information here. But just I find that interesting how apparently like 95% played Guilty Gear, so that it's their favorite fighting game, which I'm like, I kind of doubt.
I was gonna say that's a bias like question right there.
That's a little sus, but all right, whatever. Actually, no, it said 54.1% answered that Guilty Gear is their favorite fighting game, but yeah, 95% said that they played it, which I'm like, I don't know, man. I thought it was more niche than that.
I'm like that's a little biased right there.
Yeah, and they mentioned like most used characters, which is obviously Soul up at the top as he should be, along with Kai in
Yeah.
second. May at 14%, which I forget what did we even have for other options in the.
We had Chip, we had Potemkin, and we also had Faust.
Okay, huh? I'm surprised people would play May more than Chip. I guess
Oh,
just
and
based on aesthetics, but
we
Chip
also
is
had like
way easier to learn.
we also had like Axel as well.
Oh yeah, true. I didn't even see anybody.
No, no,
Sure, I know.
like I used to Axel during one of our matches.
Oh god, that's right. Yeah, it was like
Because don't
for
you remember
one.
like he had like that ridiculous command grab?
Yeah. Oh my god, what was up with that? But yeah, those are like the top three, which makes sense.
Yeah, especially with me, I'm not surprised because aesthetics
Yeah,
is the
that's the thing. I was like, aesthetics, sure, but man, May is way harder to learn than like Chip. Chip's really fun, but I'm basic. I can't get a grasp on charge characters. I just can't. It's weird for me.
he
Um,
prefers the alpha breed.
pretty much. um, but this was pretty interesting as well. There was like most requested characters for each region, which was kind of funny how like Japan's top three were the ones that like kind of clashed. Although Johnny was second everywhere in all regions, but
Yeah, I was gonna say like I remember like when I turned on my Twitter, my timeline was just like full of people just like arguing each other on the most requested characters.
I didn't even see the fallback.
Dude, all I saw was like, man, why'd you guys like vote for biking? I'm like, it's very obvious that why everyone voted for biking.
Yeah, there's several reasons, so some big reasons as well. Though to be fair, that was only an Xrd.
Yeah,
She's great in general, though. I do love her design. It's just, man, I did not like how she played in Rev 2. That's some weird shit.
yeah, like I think like that's a funny thing is that both biking and Angel, like if you do the meme where it's like grabbing their hands together, like do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's basically the most attractive characters that barely any people will master.
yeah, pretty much. That was like Age of 3. I was like, okay. I mean, not like, my ideal, like, design preference, but I was like, damn, how do you play this character? It's so weird. It's like, I get it, but it's so fast, and I'm like, wait, I don't get it. I'm like, no
Yeah,
thanks, I'm sick of Blue Mary.
so obviously from the results, right, is that not surprised like for North America, Asia, Europe, biking was like number one, along everywhere is like Johnny number two.
Yep.
There was like a differences like between the other numbers though, especially with Japan. Like Japan's number one, which I'll give them props for, is asking for Bridget,
Yeah.
and Bridget is like overdue to come back.
How long has it been since he has shown up, sorry.
Since Guilty Gear like X and plus R core
Yikes, that's bad.
double X.
Good lord.
That's how long it is, dude.
It'd be like that.
I know, like I mixed up like my Guilty Gear like my Guilty Gear like versions, but all I know is it's just plus R, the double X era,
Man. Oh,
and then
I should probably lump this in as well, but I was like, well, at least Japan got their wish with Ramathal, because she got like the trailer. Looks pretty alright. She was like the new character that was like revealed a few days ago.
yeah, and I think my favorite reaction to that trailer is that I was like she looks cool. I like how she got at least she has like a cool hat, and at least I'm glad she's wearing a shirt instead of
Yeah.
just one strap just to cover her boobies.
I'm like, what the fuck was that? This. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just prefer my latest look classy.
I know, right? This guy gets it.
Yes. So I mean, I'll probably like what else is there, but like I definitely my favorite reaction is that our friend Saki, she freaked the fuck out the most because uh when she saw like Ram's outfit, it almost looks very similar to one of her
yeah. See, like,
OCs.
wait, she freaked out. I was like, what? Oh, right, yeah. I remember that.
She was like sending me in old caps and DMs being like, she looks like my OC. All those missing is to give her a green palette.
Oh man. Yeah. I was like, she looks pretty good. It's just I never liked playing as her in Revelator, so I'm like, what can you do? Just does nothing for me, but I'm glad other people are happy. But I will say the one thing that gives me hope is man, I guess I gotta move to Asia or Europe, because at least their jam is 4th place, baby. I got some hope. North America's in 6th. I'm like, okay, I'm not leaving North America yet, but it's pushing it. Japan, she's at number 10, and I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, you know what's the biggest slip I got from Japan, like the other list?
Yeah.
Frigging hold on, where the hell is he? I actually want to scroll down.
Oh, I thought you were asking for Japan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually no. Actually, my biggest slip from both Asia and Europe. Props to you guys for asking for Testament.
Oh man.
And just like Bridget, Testament hasn't come back since the Double X era games.
It's so weird because like I'm wondering how they got both of these like lists for Asia and Europe, because it clearly seems like they got the exact same information. I'm like, what's up with that?
I don't know, man.
That's weird. But yeah. Man. It's interesting. It at least gives you hope for my character. I just want Jam to come back. Please, God. Please. At least people do want her, not top 3, but I'm like, listen, demand is there. I'm not insane. Please.
And if you can do me an extra favor though, like put in Testament and Bridget ahead of Gems in order of release.
I don't care as long as she gets in. You can have whatever you want as long as my girl gets in. She can be DLC. I don't give a fuck. God. But yeah, we're going into it. So yeah, reception was pretty mixed on stuff that wasn't the actual fight gameplay. Like the visuals obviously look pretty good.
Oh yeah, not surprised. Like visuals, animation, music was like super up there.
Yeah, but then online lobbies is too high at a 1.7. The
that
lowest
is
you could
way
get is
too
like
high.
A 1. But it's like that's way too high. That should be like a 1.5 or below. Like honestly, it barely worked. I hate the art style. They made it way more complicated than it needed to be. Like it's not even style over function because the style sucks. Like I'm just like,
dude, it's like
get it out of here.
Oh, it's like it gave like Max flashbacks to when he used to work on Habbo Hotel. Which is a very obscure online game, if you remember that back in the day.
Which I never played, but apparently my sister knew about it. I was like, oh my god, I guess I missed out. But yeah.
Dude, I used to see ads for it all the time.
Oh man. But yeah, everything was pretty good aside from interface needs work, online matches, that should be a 2. That should not be a 2.8. But they've addressed it, they're gonna add rollback to it. It's like online matches, I guess it's neither here nor there. It's gonna be fixed. But yeah, the lobbies, they're doubling down. They're saying that there's gonna be a lot more cosmetic options, so it's gonna be better by the time it comes out, and that's not the point. For the lobby.
Like, no, dude.
I don't care if you can dress up as Soul or Axel or someone else like as a lobby avatar if that's what they think is gonna win people over. I don't give a damn about customization. I want it gone. I want. Why does the matchmaking gotta be this dumb? It's so desynced too. Avatars aren't even synced or they want to fight each other. Like, it's horrendous. Just get rid of it. Put the arcade cabinets back or something equivalent. Cause man, they clearly don't get it. Oh my god. So I'm just like,
They
that's disappointing, honestly, for me. The fact that they're
yeah
doubling down.
yeah for me I'm like at least just put like at least some simple menus at least.
Seriously. Like, it drives me insane. Then you have like the whole like tier system where it's like you get to go to higher floors as you keep winning. I was like, man, just make it a simple lobby, please. Simple lobby, private lobbies, that's it. Don't gotta make this
Yeah.
shit complicated, honestly. That's just me. Call me old fashioned, but it's like simple is best. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's been a saying for years for a reason. Um, but yeah, the other thing too that they also mentioned was like damage being too high, saying that they kind of wanted to go extreme with it just to see if like I guess like trying to get the idea across of like how it's gonna be on the initial release, but they are gonna tweak it, which yeah, I think it needs it a little bit. I think it's too high for what it is because it's like it's very close, if not already there, to like Sam show damage depending on the move when it game with combos. I'm like that's a bit much.
Just one command grab.
Yeah, wild throw is insane. Good lord. So yeah, hopefully they change it a bit. But man, I the one that really bums me out the most is them commenting on Gatling combos and saying that they're trying to restrict it. Let me just read what's saying here. By doing so, we've introduced a greater emphasis on choosing which normal move you use to start your combo based on the situation and your goal at the time. Like, I don't get it. It's like they think that restricting Gatling combos will make you realize your options more, when the whole point is that it was very freeform, so you could go into anything with Gatling combos before. Restricting it makes it worse. Like, I'm so confused as to what they're trying to aim for here, because whatever they're trying to do, Gatling combos would just make it better. You know?
Yeah.
Like, more restricting means that you're gonna feel like you can't do anything out of a certain situation. It's the complete opposite of what they want to do.
Yeah, like that's the weird thing because like I was expecting more for like Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was thinking like they won't go back, to like to Exert, right? But at least I want some more stuff to do besides what I was able, to just do during the beta.
Yeah, and ultimately that's the thing. With it being freeform means that you can really just go however you want. But if you make it more restrictive, it's going to be easier to block. It's going to be easier to find patterns with players. It's just going to be an overall less interesting game, in my opinion, because you can't really mix it up when, like, if you see someone press a certain button, you already know which route they're going to go, because that's the only one that they can do, It's like, no, please.
Yeah, no, like, this is like a similar problem with like Street Fighter V, where it was also pretty restricted as well for your combo routes.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where like I just hope they just reconsider it just so everyone has like their own expressive ways, for this type of character.
Yeah.
Hell, even like a game like Samsha where it's not like very combo heavy, but you still have like many ways to like express that character.
Man. It's we'll just have to see what happens. I'm skipping over the camera movement stuff because that's just weird. People getting motion sickness on the camera, just like, okay, I don't get it, but okay.
Yeah, like other thing I will point out, like for the UI, right, is that I definitely will disagree about like the wrist gauge being less visible.
Oh, I completely disagree with this. Yeah. It's
like they're like, we intentionally made the wrist gauge less visible to reduce the number of gauges that first time players to try to be aware of. I'm like that's not like overcomplicating stuff. Like if you like make it visible, they'll know like they're about to get like guard crushed.
Yeah.
I mean, players are not dumb.
It's a complete contradiction because like before that point too, in the report, it's saying that it's like, man, we've made it so that the burst icon moves as the health bar drains in order to minimize the amount of eye movement required to check each gauge, which is bullshit because that already requires more eye movement because you're already trying to like see where it is relative to the health bar. If it was just static, it meant that you'd always know where to look every single time throughout the match. That's what makes it worse, and they just don't get it. But then adding on to that, the fact that they're trying to make like certain gauges less visible for first-time players means that it's also harder for them to see it in general, so it's going to require more eye movement as well. They're shooting themselves in the foot, because then they're going to have to double check and see it's not easily visible, so they're going to have to like really check and squint their eyes, right? Like fucking Senior Chang, and I'm just like, oh my god, everything they're trying to do, it's like they're going against it at the same time. It's so baffling. And I'm not a dev, right? I'm not trying to make this like some fucking armchair dev shit, but I just, from these reports and this wording, it seems counterintuitive every time I read it. I don't get it. You know?
Yeah. Well, good thing in like this game is like being delayed.
Yeah, it was delayed to like 2021, which I'm like, thank God. You know, I did not want to play this in 2020 if it's anything like that. Like, seriously fix it. Please, I want to love the game. God, like, why is it the first Arxis game that's finally gonna have rollback, and everything else is fighting against it for me to enjoy it? Like, it could have been any other game, but they gotta be experimental, and it's gonna get mixed reception, no doubt. All I can do is hope they don't mess it up. That's all I can do.
I just really hope, they can like prove us wrong.
Pretty much. I want to be proven wrong so bad.
So what's the next thing? Since we're in charge in 50 minutes.
Yeah. Wait, how much time? Oh, 2:42. Darn. All right. I'll keep up the pace on this. My God, I'm losing track of time. But editing shouldn't take too long. But either way, Game Gear Micro announced launches October 6th in Japan. So you were the one that sent this to me in DMs initially. Guys, this is dumb. This is really, really dumb. Like,
you heard of the Game Boy Advance Micro. Wait till you hear the Game Gear Micro.
It's got a 1-inch screen, dog. Like, what are you doing? What is
Dude,
this?
the first thing, like the first response I always saw, like when this thing came out, is just endless gifs of the Senior Chang from Community with that piece of paper.
I need to stress it again. A 1-inch screen, bro. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
And they also packed in like a big window accessory just to see this thing properly. Like,
I remember seeing Mario 64 too, where it's like, and it comes with a big window accessory so you can actually see the damn thing.
I'm like, just to let you know what the big window is that it's like one of those like magnetizing accessories that kids would use for like for their Game Boys back in the day.
Yep.
And that's what the big window is, just to see the goddamn thing.
I remember Game Boy Advance when I used to have one that had like the light on top, but it was like basically just a magnifying glass as well on top. I'm like, oh my god.
Yes, I remember like I saw a kid on like at an airport with that.
Just baffling, and it only comes with like 2 games each. And for the
it's
price,
4
it's
games
not.
each.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's totally worth the price now.
So here's the dumb thing, right? Is that besides like being small, especially for your hands, right?
Yeah.
The downside is like like with these mini consoles where they come with a bunch of games packed in, right?
Yeah.
For this, like, someone had a good idea. Be like, let's make these different. Let's put out these different colors, and give them their own separate library of games.
Yep. So you can't even pick which color you want. You have to go off the list of games.
So, for example, if I want to play some Sonic, right? Like, I have to go with, like, the black color.
Yep.
Or if I want to play, like, the other Sonic, I have to go with the blue color. Or, in case this man wants to play Puyo Puyo, he has to get the black one.
Yep.
That comes with, like, Sonic, Alacron, and Royal Stone. And then,
I mean, the
for
black
blue
one is clearly the best one out of all these. But yeah.
No, you keep scrolling down. So, the blue one, like, comes with, like, Gunstar Heroes, Boku Boku Animal, Sonic and Tails, and Sylvan Tale. And then the other one that also that shocked me was the yellow one that comes with Shining Force 1, 2, and Final Conflict, along with the Puyo RPG. I'm like, how the hell are you gonna play RPGs on this thing?
This is horrendous. Like, this one is the worst one, not because of the quality of the games, but a 1-inch screen to, like, see a text-filled JRPG. I'm like, ah, yes. That's great. That one's the Senior Chang one.
Man, I can't wait to watch this man play, like, the pre-RPG in his one.
Not on your
with his
life.
webcam.
Oh, man.
And then the last one with, like, a red color that comes with Columns, Game Gear Shinobi, which is a good game. And then for the first time getting re-released, Megami Tensei Gaiden, Last Bible and Last Bible Special. Super obscure, like, games in Atlas's Megami Tensei Megaten series.
Man. Just what a time to be alive, where this waste of space, this absolute waste of money exists.
I'm like, dude,
nobody wants this.
They could have just made like a moderate-sized Game Gear with all these games packed in together.
Seriously. Like, damn. You got Puyo, Outrun, and Sonic in one console, and I don't care.
Like, hold on, can you, like, scroll up so I can see the price? Oh my god.
4,980
yen. This is like $50 per console.
Equivalent, dude. Yeah. Close to 50. Don't buy it. Nobody's gonna. What am I saying? Nobody's gonna buy this. You're not stupid.
I think the people will buy it only just for collectors, and that's about it.
Ugh, what a waste. But moving on real quick. So this one is pretty cool, but I'll let you take this one. But long story short, new Metal Slug games for console and mobile planned for release in 2020. We still don't really have a ton of information on this, but yeah, there's been a few teases. We'll have to see, like, what's coming from this. Like, what do you think this could be, man?
Well, here's what I hope for is that, according to this news, right, this is, like, announced, I believe, at a SNK business meeting in South Korea.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they said we're getting a new Metal Slug game for console and mobile. So, they already described that, like, the mobile game is going to be, like, a 2D side-scrolling card-type game. That's obviously releasing for both iOS and Android, and they're, like, almost completed.
Yeah.
And as for, like, the console game, like, there's been, like, teases, like, here and there from, like, from the SNK developers, like, Twitters.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, you know, how you guys feel like, you know, if we do this and that. The other thing I'm hoping for is a fun, like, side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
Same. I'm just like, it could be 2.5D. Doesn't have to be sprites, but I'm just like, just do, like, what people expect. Don't try to, like, you know, mix it up too much, because a lot of them when it's like, oh, we're gonna reboot, and it's like, no, you just want what you've been doing for years, please.
Yeah, the only thing I only want for the console game is I just wanted to, like, blow Contra Road Corps out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. Get that pile of trash out of here. I hate that I have to be reminded of that. God.
Dude, I hate how, like, that existed recently.
Christ, man. What a waste. But yeah. I'm still looking forward to this as well. I've not played a ton of Metal Slug games. I think I played 2 or 3. And I want to say another one, but I can't remember what number it is. Like, I'd have to play it and remember if it looks familiar to me.
Yeah. Like most likely we'll do like a marathon of the series like someday.
Yeah, I was actually planning on bringing at least like one through three because apparently I know I'm on Steam. Probably gonna mess with them actually on the vacation maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
but as a heads up, is that make sure you play them with Fightcade.
oh, Fight Kid is better.
Yeah, it's because like the emulation and the key bindings are not that really great on the Steam version.
Ah, man, there's always something. Yeah. Okay, then I'll make sure to uninstall.
No, just extract like the ROM files from it and you're good.
Okay. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. I'm just like, cool. Hopefully, get announced soon. Um, so this I've been hearing a lot about on Twitter. Um, and I just thought it was really cool that there's actually a release date for this. But Crosscode launches digitally for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on July 9, and apparently physical on PS4 and Switch on like August 28. So I've heard about this several times on Twitter by people saying like, "Man, y'all should really be checking this out." And I'm like, "All right, what's the deal?" And I finally saw like the trailer for this, and good lord, I actually really want this game. It looks really good. I won't lie. Do you know anything about this one, Soul?
Oh yes, actually, did used to stream this game, which sadly I've yet to continue.
Ah, okay. Because yeah, I was gonna say,
But
how long has it been out on Steam?
ooh, for a long time.
Oh yeah,
Like
wow, yeah,
yeah, like
2018,
it
and I
came out
never
for
heard
like
about it till this
since
year.
2018.
Damn. Because yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, like best way I can describe is that like it's a very fun RPG, and the plot, is also pretty silly and fun. It's like one of the stories where like you're a person that's like in a MMO,
Yeah.
and obviously like your main character can only speak like only one phrase.
God. Um, I don't even know if I should ask. Might be a spoiler thing.
No, I wouldn't say that much of a spoiler thing is like it's not like I'm fresh from my mind, but I definitely do remember is that it's definitely like it's a good time. I mean, it has like a skill tree, definitely a bunch of quests to do, and they definitely like added like some cool like extra dungeons and stuff, like right from a Steam update.
Yeah, I know what definitely got me from the trailer was like the music is really good.
Oh
I'm
yeah, the
really
music
really
is
big fan of
awesome.
that. God, like nothing sells me faster than just a music that hits all the right or a soundtrack that hits like all the right notes for me. I'm just like God, it's hitting it. But
Yeah, yeah, the music is awesome, and not to mention like the pixel art is pretty good as well.
yeah, it looks really good. Like if you like action RPGs, obviously I'd say put it on your radar if it's not already. Um, but yeah, I really would like to check it out at some point. I don't know when, but I'd like to make time for it. Is it a very long game though?
Um. Oh, there's a playtime actually over there. It's like between 30 to 80 hours, depending what you do.
Ah, okay, okay. So it's a man actually longer than I would expected.
Yeah, and like it's mostly due to like there's like depending like of how often you do the side quests and stuff.
Yeah. But cool. Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I was like, it's the first time that I heard about it. I was like, oh my god, I've been living under a rock because it seems really fun. So
Yeah, I know
maybe in the
like
future.
everyone has been wanted to check it out, but they're like waiting for like the Switch port to come out.
Yeah. I mean, at this point for me, like now that I have like the PC, it's if I'm gonna stream it, it's probably gonna be PC games, you know. But I probably will get it on Switch. Good lord, because I feel like at this point, like it's probably worth getting it on Switch if it's like usually on like any like retro vibe type of games. So I'll probably get it on Switch. It doesn't seem like it's too taxing, you know. Didn't have any problems with porting it over.
Yep.
Um, man, don't go on Gamatsu. Looking at this header.
Dogo Gamatsu, all caps.
Oh, it was way too late because Twitter already got me. So real quick, just really cool that they announced this. Like pretty much a couple of weeks after I finished Zero. The Geofront team is at it again. Some of the crew is already working on East versus Trails, which is a game that never got localized, but it's like a spin-off game. But people immediately were asking, obviously the Crosswell Games are duology, when's Azure? You know, that's the biggest question that would haunt them for months if they didn't address it. And they kind of had to lie a bit, you know, understandably so. But they officially announced that Azure, the fan translation mod, is at 75%, at least for, you know, the progress. But don't get it twisted, that's still going to be a couple months away. Probably early 2021, maybe, is like my expectation. Personally, because this is, you know, even when they reach 100%, it's still going to take a while to, like, you know, go through it multiple times with different testers and, like, you know, different editing runs and, like, making sure they just catch every little thing, which even then, on, like, the day one patch for 0, there were still some typos and stuff that still went, you know, under the cracks, right? So
Yeah, along with like some little like graphical glitches like here and there.
yeah,
And definitely the most important part is trying to find like a place to where to buy this game, because unlike with 0, with Trails to Azure is the problem like with Azure like PC is it's a Chinese PC port. It never
Yep.
had like a Japanese PC port.
So it's
So
weird. It seems like maybe they found the method, but who knows?
yeah, no, that's like that's why I'm like I'm adding into the explanation of why it's gonna take so long is to making sure they find a proper place where you can buy this legally.
Yeah. So
Even though it's a lot more difficult due to being like a Chinese PC port.
yep. So obviously they're trying to find ways to be, you know, less of a, rather being less on a precarious tightrope situation with this stuff. You know, if they can, like, you know, find a way legally, it'd be safer for them. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, I'm just excited for that. I'm not gonna wait like I did for 0, because I gotta get a move on with these games, especially now with this vacation. You know, I'll stick to the PSP, you know, early translation and get by with that. But I'm really happy for everyone else. You know, I'd like to mess with it or, you know, check it out when it does come out for like a day or two or something. But yeah, I'm just really glad the team's working on this immediately, because it means that now for sure Western fans are getting the best possible experience, you know, for both of these games. That even if they do come out, those Kai ports in Japan are not great.
Yeah, the only thing like I'm really looking forward to for one of those ports is a less buggy experience with Azure.
Pretty much. So hopefully, you know, they do a good job, just like they did with 0, because I thoroughly enjoyed that. But moving on, this one's mainly for you, Chief.
Oh my god! So here's what happened: is that apparently there was like the IGN Summer of Gaming thing
Yeah.
that they were like hosting, I believe for like the weekend.
Right.
And I was going on my timeline, and then there was like a certain tweet I had to like double take. I'm like, wait, what? Alex Kidd and Miracle World DX?
Like, bro, what the fuck?
I'm like, who the hell like wants to make Alex Kidd again? So, as a quick backstory is that to Alex Kidd. So Alex Kidd, he was the Sega's first attempt of getting a mascot to compete with Mario.
Yeah.
Before like Sonic, you know, came to the picture. And with Alex Kidd is that like he had like quite a few titles on the Master System, and one crappy one on the Genesis, which my friend likes to watch me getting tortured while getting salty in that game, because the game is like really, it's bad. Especially like he always like laughs his ass when I lose to the friggin' cheap AIs where there's these boss battles, right? Where
Yeah.
you don't fight them. You fight them in rock, paper, scissors. And
Yeah,
they're cheating
I remember
motherfuckers
hearing
in
about
rock,
that.
paper, scissors.
Wasn't that the one where gosh, did he mention? I think there was like a video that like mentioned. I think it was like H2GN's like least favorite games he's ever played. I think this was on the list.
Dude, like it wasn't like this title, but it was like the one
Or
with the
other Happy
Genesis.
Console Gamer. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Happy Console Gamer right there. It was definitely Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I played Miracle, which it was alright. Which is like the only decent title in the entire series. Definitely the best one was like Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, which originally wasn't going to be an Alex Kidd game, just like a Shinobi spin-off, but instead they just slapped Alex Kidd in there. So after these long years, like this dude gets like a new title again from some developer out there. Well, is like, hey, I want to make an Alex Kidd game.
God.
So a very similar thing with like Suture Rage 4 and Panzer Dragoon. I was thinking this is like licensed by Sega and outsourced to a different developer for this project.
Yeah.
And basically, like what you see is that like we're seeing like a remastered version of Alex Kidd in Miracle World for the Master System. And as you can see, like you have like this brand new graphics, and you can also switch to retro graphics similar to like Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap.
Yep.
That recently came out.
Man.
And so far, like I'm pretty excited to see what they change with this game. Because obviously, there's like widescreen. There's also new and remastered music.
Yeah.
And I'm also very curious about like the alternative boss fights. Because I do remember like the boss fights, like every boss fight like you only got in this game was only just rock, paper, scissors.
Alternative being like, okay, guys, we're gonna make them real boss fights.
Yes, but I hope like they put in the effort to make them real boss fights instead of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Because I got cheated out so many times, man.
Oh my god, dude. Like, it's so weird. But yeah. I figured, like, that's pretty cool. It's just another one to put on the list of just like, man, Sega sure ain't doing them, but they're letting everybody play ball with their IPs, which that's the thing, man. If you're not gonna do it, I wish more companies did it like this. Just outsource it. Just let people use the IP to make something. It might not work all the time, but it's better than letting the series stay dormant, right?
I know, right? Like, I'm just glad, like, they've been, like, licensing, like, recently with, like, the Panzer Dragoon remaster, along with Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, and now this, and just, it keeps piling up, I'm just like, thank God, they're just letting these things happen. So hopefully it turns out good, hopefully they can just keep adding to it, because that's the thing, even if Sega's not making it, that's how their IPs, like, stay, relative, or, stay relevant, I should say.
Yeah, like, it also, I was gonna say last thing is that, the other thing also popped into my mind when I saw this news is that I remember this one single picture from a obscure RPG called Sega Gaga for the Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I see the picture of like the main character Alex Kidd being like Alex Kidd saying, "Hey, you heard of Alex Kidd, right?"
Oh man,
dude! And after that, like, yeah, there was like a certain cutscene where you hear this sad backstory of like, oh yeah, I was a mascot, back then. And then that's when until you see like Sonic, like you see like cameras, like a Hollywood like a producing studio. And you see like Sonic, with like a soda and a towel, like removing his sweat and stuff when he like took over.
Yeah, the original mascot that I'm just like, yeah, didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, keep in mind is that like this dude, he was going to compete with Mario before Sonic.
Oh man, what a time to be.
That would have been a different timeline though.
Oh yeah. But speaking of Mario, so this was announced, but I figured I'd go in with the follow-up trailer that they had a few days ago. So Paper Mario the Origami King got an overview trailer with showing the companions and combat details, but I'm not going to dwell on this too much. All I'm going to say is, for anybody curious, I mean, I've mentioned that on record. Paper Mario is like one of, at least the original game and Thousand Year Door, like, you know, yes, I'm one of those. Let's get this out of the way. I am one of those.
And me too.
You know, where it's just like, it's one of the most important series for me because it's what got me into JRPGs. I owe a lot to it. So to kind of see what's happened with the series has bummed me out immensely. I played Sticker Star and regretted it immensely. I felt like I was watching my franchise just die completely. Not even mine, but, you know, one of my favorites just die in front of me. As all the creativity and all the charm and all the things that I loved about it just got completely drained. And while Color Splash seems like a bit of a recovery from that, at least the writing is more charming from what I've heard, and it's pretty good, I still refuse to play it until it's something that really is a return to form in my eyes. You know, this is not being nostalgia blind, you know, as people say, or being like rose-tinted glasses. I'm not saying those games didn't have flaws, but it's what I like. It's what I want, and Origami King just looks like more of the same to me. It seems like it might be better, and it might be another incremental step to getting to what I would like. But they say companions, really it's more like an assist, not even like a real partner character. Battles seem like they got this weird ring system going on, but it's not... I don't know. Is there even going to be an incentive to doing battles in this one? Like, it's just... The overview trailer explains so many things, and I still have so many doubts. Like, it's just so weird, man. Like, I just want it to go back to what I used to love, and it still isn't just hitting the right notes for me. So, initially I wanted to talk about the announcement trailer itself, but yeah, it's just... It's still not quite there for me. And I'm sure it'll be fun, don't get it twisted. I think for most people, if you don't have that tie to the series, you know, being an old school fan or whatever, you'll enjoy this game fine enough. I think it'll still be a good game. It's just not for me, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. All I remember is that, like, this announcement just came and go for me.
Yeah,
I was,
like, it just showed up and I was like, oh, okay. Same here. Are you still there?
I know. I was gonna say, like, I'm looking out for is that, and hopefully, you know, you guys can enjoy this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, at this point, just like, more power to you. And maybe if it's on a discount or something, it actually ends up being pretty good. That's the thing. Maybe I could meet it halfway. You know, if it is charming, could pick it up on a discount or something. You know, but I'm not gonna be there day one buying full price for this. If it turns out good, that's great. But yeah, it's just... Why does it just not have none of the DNA, right? Like, it just feels like such a complete shift from what it used to be. God, it just makes me sad.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help that, like, Bug Fables released their Switch port.
Yeah.
Like, during the timing of this.
It does not help. Just like that card didn't help.
Alright, so what's the next thing?
Yeah, so next one, we already talked about, so we can skip, was this Ramlethal, which was alright. But again,
yeah,
we lumped it in. So, this is the real next thing.
This one's hilarious.
Holy shit. So, Persona 4 Golden now available for PC. Guys, it's finally over. The Vita is dead. Not really.
Except for me.
Not really.
Where's my more muscle Demon Blade Rebirth, damn it?
I mean, I hope they re-release that one too, honestly. And then the Vita can die.
Yes. That's when the Vita truly dies for me. So, funny story about this is that this announcement unfortunately got leaked.
I'm so glad it leaked. I'm glad the trailer got leaked, bro, because apparently the PC Gamer Show was mad cringe. Apparently it dodged a fucking bullet waiting for that shit.
Oh, dude, same here. Like, it wasn't just, like, only the trailer, right? Is that there was, like, first there was, like, these leaks from Steam database.
Yeah.
And then it was, like, linked to its, like, de novo page, which made me go, oh, no.
Which apparently also possibly leaked 5 and 3? I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know what the hell was that either. But and then the next thing is that oh, Atlas has something enough for the PC gaming show, and then an hour before the PC gaming show streamed, this shows up
On Steam, it was already up to buy.
and dude. And then the next thing is that during something in the PC gaming show, which I only had it as background noise,
Yeah.
is that you see Greg and Miller being like, "Oh yeah, can you guess this tune?" And then I believe after a few announcements later, it's like, "Oh hey guys, Persona 4 PC is on Steam right now." I'm like, dude, you're way too late.
Yeah. Everyone just fucked up and said, I'm not watching the show. I'm playing the game right now. Like, you think anybody cares after the major one is out? Like, nobody cares. Oh, it cracks me up. Oh, it really does. This is like the funniest leak for me. It's like, what if the last big announcement or the big announcement that everybody cares about is just already gone? It's like, well, now we have nothing.
Oh jeez.
Christ. But yeah, I've heard from Chin's impressions. It's a very competent port. And reasonably priced too, people. It's like $20. You don't even need to wait for a discount for this price. Like, absolutely not. I thought it was gonna be higher. Thought it was gonna be 30 or 40, like you said, so on DMs.
Yes, I thought it was gonna be like 30 and 40 for this, because I know I was thinking of how Atlas would price this.
I was like, $40 would not surprise me, But yeah, for $20, that's well worth the price for one of, I'd say one of the best JRPGs. For a lot of people, it's a lot of people like it. I think it's great. I think it has a few flaws, but what doesn't, right?
Yeah,
but I think it's great.
Yeah, it's a great game. It will never take from my love for the Persona 2 duology.
Yeah.
But I will agree is that it's definitely a good time, and this is also one of the first games, well, the PS2 original, that got me into the series, along with the Megami Tensei series overall.
Yeah, and as much as I love 3, 4 Golden is where everybody should, or even Persona 4 in general, is where people should start if they want to have something that's bearable for most people's attention spans and modern standards, I would say. Because as much as Persona 2 is great, the grind is real depending on what versions you play. So 4 isn't too bad in that regard. 5 obviously is the most convenient one to play, but yeah, it's pretty great. Seems like it runs at unlocked frame rates. You could really go nuts with this thing.
Yeah, I've heard it also runs a 4K as well.
Yeah.
Definitely the only downside to this game is that there is de novo.
Yep, which of course there is. Atlas gotta do what they gotta do.
Yes, which is definitely an Atlas move right there, where, in case you aren't aware where de novo is that it's basically the herpes of PC gaming, where it's a DRM on top of the Steam DRM.
Yep.
And what it means is that it prevents you from playing this game offline without internet connection.
It's so stupid, man.
And
I'm going on that trip and I'm I just want to play games offline. Get out of here.
Yes, and especially for this game, you definitely want to play this without internet.
Yeah.
And also for some certain cases that I do know some PC ports that had de novo also got affected performances because of that.
God. Yeah. Depending on which one they use, it could actually suffer. Oof.
Yeah, so just be aware when you buy this game. The port is good, but just make sure you have internet connection at all times.
Yep, until they find a way to, get rid of it or crack it or something. You know how it goes with PC.
Yeah, I mean if it's like Sonic Mania or the other PC ports, they'll probably do an update where it's removed.
Yeah, but regardless of all that stuff, the most important part is that this one's finally off the Vita. I don't even hate the Vita as a handheld, but a game like this deserves to be played by everyone, right? People are gonna disagree if Golden's the superior version or not. I'm not about to argue that. But I enjoyed P4G and loved every second of it. Well, not every second, but I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the music and the characters, but I don't know when they're gonna fix the early hours of Persona games are so rough for some reason. Especially with 3 through 5, where it's like, we just gotta limit you on SP in this first dungeon run. Have fun. I'm like, why are you doing this? Um, I never understand it. I thought they were gonna
Yeah,
fix it in 5.
it's also very weird for like for 2 never had that problem.
Yeah. 2 and 1 never really had that issue. I'm like, why is it in the modern ones? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird, but basically the point is that like if you're one of those people that kept hearing, oh, you got to check your Persona for growing, but I don't have
Yeah.
a Vita,
No
definitely
excuse
check
now.
this out.
Now it's on PC, and it seems like it's a very optimized port, so could probably run it for sure. Although I've heard some reports of some people having slideshows, which kind of made me laugh on day one. I'm not
Oh
gonna lie.
yes, I still remember this one Twitter user that posts like their screwed up shots on some of the models.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah, what in God's name was that?
I don't know what was going on, but that was hilarious.
That was cursed. But yeah, good port. But speaking
All right,
of
next
PC,
thing.
so this is all you. Windjammers 2 PC demo available from June 16 to 22. What are your thoughts on Windjammers 2, my dude? Also, if they say June 22, am I screwed for playing it tomorrow?
I believe there's like a certain time.
I might miss out, unfortunately, but oh well.
Yeah, but no worries. But all I can say is that Windjammers, in case you aren't aware, is that this is a sequel to one of the best Neo Geo games on the Neo Geo. And what it is that it's basically extreme Pong with frisbees.
Oh god. Like the most insane match of ice hockey.
Yes, it's literally like extreme like Pong. Like where you have like a roster full of like from different countries, and also the style of this game, including the costumes like these characters wear, is like super 90s as hell.
I love it.
Like literally, they scream radical, man.
This is kind of why I'm like, I love this 90s like game aesthetic where like beaches were everywhere, man. Everywhere. I miss that
and
aesthetic
big ass
so
shades,
much.
dude.
Big ass
Remember
shades, fucking summertime, eternal, like God, I want it.
And everyone just like saying rad, and so basically like it's a very very fun game, especially for like I get to play like it's also it's weird to get into, but once master it, it's pretty fun because obviously there's like crazy things you can do. For example, like in the sequel, right, where obviously like the graphics are in hand drawn 2D animations.
Yeah.
Similar to like Streets of Rage 4, which is amazing. They also put in like some cool some cool stages. And a little fun fact is that in one of those stages, you see like a cameo of like Karnov and Chelnov.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I was like, oh my god.
I'm like, dude, I haven't heard like these two like in years, man. And then you have like a colorful like list of rosters where, for example, like you have like this girl named like Hirome Mita, Klaus Wessel, Loris Babyagi, and then you got like new ones named Sophie Delise, who has like this cool two-tone like hair color. Max Hurricane, who is like the Canadian rep. Yeah. He's such a like a silly looking character, but he's very fun. And then Jao Repose that. So I got like my hands on the Steam demo like last week.
Yeah.
And definitely what they did is that like they definitely turned this so before so obviously you play some Mario Tennis, right?
Yeah.
I remember like how Mario Tennis was and how it felt like when you transitioned into the Mario Tennis game on the GameCube.
Yeah.
This is like the similar transition with Windjammers to Windjammers 2. Like Windjammers, it was like Mario Tennis on the N64. And then Windjammers 2 definitely turned out to be like Mario Tennis Power Tennis because they added like a super bar.
Oh shit. Okay.
They added like a super bar, and they added like some more tricks you can do. For example, you can like jump up, grab the frisbee, and just like dunk it to the ground, and just be an asshole at the game for easy 4 points.
Yo, Max and the video games crew have to play this now. Like, there's no way they're not gonna love that shit.
Man, I was gonna say like speaking of that, and actually before we get to that, is that so far like I am enjoying the gameplay. There's definitely like some tweaks they need to do,
Yeah.
especially for like controls wise. But so far I had like fun with it. I'm loving the colors. I'm liking like the soundtrack, which is also pretty 90s. And then including like the new like meter system where you have a choice of doing like going for power, for going for the offense to get those points,
Yeah.
or you can or you can use it as a defense. For example, like if I throw like a super frisbee at you,
Yeah.
you can block it with your. You can actually like pop your meter by doing a defense.
Yeah, so it really is just like power tennis.
Literally,
Oh,
it's
man.
power tennis, dude.
Holy shit. That's pretty good.
Yes, the only thing I'm only hoping for this game, which the only not good first impressions,
Yeah.
like during the demo, was like the online was delay based.
Oh, yeah.
So
And they've made no announcements on that, right?
No, there's like no details about the rollback yet. I'm just hoping like this is just a demo thing where it's delay based for now, and hopefully they put in rollback. Because I
Yeah.
do know like this is like the same team that brought the recent port of Windjammers for like PC, Switch, and PS4,
Yeah.
where they actually put in GGPO rollback.
Oh, so then there is some hope.
I am hoping they. Yeah, at least know there is some hope, but
Yeah.
again, this will make it or break it for my purchase for this game, because I
Yeah.
really want to play this game with a bunch of people on a good connection, because this game really depends on how good your
Oh,
connection
yeah.
is.
You gotta, like, really snap decisions. Like, you need that shit. Oh my god, please. I totally get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully it's good. Like I said, I'm probably gonna miss out on the demo, but looking forward to it. If it turns out being good, we'll see.
Yep. Hopefully that
Um,
rollback comes in.
Pretty much.
Oh,
So
this one.
yeah, this one you're gonna have to explain to me a little bit because I don't know if you've messed with it. I haven't. I did download it. So yeah, this is a weird like almost like stealth announcement. Like nobody was expecting something like this from Nintendo. So Nintendo released a free jump rope challenge game for Switch for a limited time, which I believe the cutoff date is, where is it? Somewhere around here. Oh, does it not say?
The
Until
end
the
of
end of
September.
September. Yeah. So yeah, this is interesting. I guess it was made by like a few devs due to the whole COVID situation. They kind of just wanted something that would like get them staying a little bit more active, which is interesting because you don't really see. I don't know. I didn't really expect something like something like this to really come out in these times right now, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know if you mess with it at all.
I did download it, but I have yet to mess with it.
Okay, because yeah, I still haven't, so I'm like, I don't know. It seems like it's like pretty simple though.
Yeah, they say like all they described is that like you just jump rope, what's on your screen.
Yep.
In order to get like a certain high score.
Just to obsess on the counter, but yeah, it's a very simple game. Don't expect like, oh man, sick HD graphics, bro. It's very primitive graphics, but yeah, it's just interesting to see something like so small and like very minimal just come out, just for free. I was like, bro, what's going on? Who hacked their account?
Yeah, I was like, when did this happen and stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're looking, for other ways to get like a fit during these trying times, then
Do it.
there is the jump rope challenge.
It's free.
But obviously the first advice is that make sure you stretch properly before you play this game.
Yep. Don't overdo it. But yeah, moving on from that really quick because I know it's getting pretty late. We'll get through these real quick. So this one was long overdue, but I kind of get it. So rhythm action game Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory announced for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Switch finally gets one.
The first time Switch gets a Kingdom Hearts game.
So this is interesting, right? Because like for some people they're like, what the hell? This came out of nowhere. Like, why is Kingdom Hearts getting a rhythm game? And it's like, it kind of makes sense when Final Fantasy kind of dealt with I'm probably gonna butcher the
With
pronunciation.
Theatrhythm.
Yeah, Theatrhythm. They had that on like 3DS, and it was actually pretty fun from what I've heard. I never played them, but I've heard they
Oh,
were
dude,
very well received.
dude, I can discuss about this. That like I've played Theatrhythm, both the first game and the second game,
Yeah.
and they're really fun as hell games.
Yeah, so I'm like,
And
I don't doubt it.
dude, I really wish like they made more of them. Like
Yeah.
the only last one that only came out was only just for the for Japanese arcades,
Oh man. Okay.
and they had like plenty of good DLC songs I wanted like in those in the last titles.
That's a bummer. But yeah, hopefully they come back to it or like, put something out on Switch or PS4 or somewhere with that. But yeah, for some people they're like, what the heck? Who was asking for this? And I'm like, me.
Me?
Because like, listen, Kingdom Hearts has like, I don't care what you think about the story. I don't care what you think about anything else in that series. If you tell me that the music like does not slap and does not actually hit, like you are just wrong. If you tell me that soundtrack is bad, you got no taste. Like, you can say you're not a huge fan of them, but my god, that shit's so catchy. It's fucking Yoko Shimomura. Like, come on now. Like, a rhythm game for this series was long overdue before this thing was announced, and it was like actually technically leaked a little bit, but it makes
like,
too much fucking sense.
And dude, like it doesn't help that like you remember like how they did like those like character models for like a Theatrhythm?
Yeah.
They even did it like for Sora in freaking like Kingdom Hearts 3D, and I thought it was like
Like a bit of foreshadowing or just kind of like teasing to it.
Yes, I thought it was a tease for it.
Man.
But yeah, like for this one, I did walk up to this one. I had to like double check it twice because I was like half asleep.
Yeah. God. I'm super down for it though. I'm messing with this.
Dude, this is coming from someone that treats their Switch as a rhythm game machine.
Yeah.
And this is a welcome addition for it. I like how like this time we're playing Theatrhythm in a 3D space with more action elements to it.
Yeah, I love how like the videos or like what have you, with like the models and stuff, like it's recreating some of the fights and shit, and people memeing on some of the moments with like Roxas and like shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it reminds me of that same energy when like Persona 3 Dancing came out, and they saw that the MC was like dancing on the roof, right? People were memeing at the contrast of a rhythm game with the story beats, and I'm like, I love it. But no, it's like, listen, Kingdom Hearts music is fantastic. It's some of my favorite like ever, so I'm just like, I have no doubt this is gonna be really fun just for the music alone. I've been a huge fan for years, so I'm messing with this. Hopefully the Switch port is pretty good, but we'll just have to see. I just worry with Switch ports every single time because it's like, okay, are they doing this in-house with the other ones or are they outsourcing it? You know what I mean? It always feels like such a crapshoot. So
yes, no, especially like for this one, right? Is that like funny enough, that's actually one of my main concerns when I'm about to get my Switch copy of SpongeBob.
Yeah, every time I worry about getting a Switch where I'm like, I feel like I have to wait post-release to know if it's good or not.
Yeah, so like I'm hoping like they do a good job with this because god damn it, this is like a perfect game for my Switch, especially as a rhythm game machine.
Pretty much, I'm like, yeah, I hope the Switch port's good because that's them announcing it for Switch is a good call because, like you said, a lot of rhythm games are already there, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, and definitely like so let me ask you this: is that what's the common thing between the Persona series and the Kingdom Hearts series?
They both got good music. That's it.
Besides good music.
They both have teenagers.
He's just messing with me right now.
Both of their mainline games are never coming to Switch.
Oh, okay.
For real.
So one thing like I also did predicted
yeah,
is that this game, just like with like Persona 4 Dancing All Night, is canon into the series timeline.
My mind wasn't even there. Holy shit. Because that's the thing, like with Persona 3 and 5 Dancing, I still think of them as spin-offs in my mind.
Yeah, no, like they're like their own thing, right?
Yeah.
But Persona 4, they had to like make it canon.
Yeah.
But with this,
man.
I'm not surprised that Nomura has to make it canon
Yeah, of course.
in
he
one
does.
shape or form.
Oh man. So yeah, I guess you'll find out answers for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of Memory. I hope y'all gamers are good enough for rhythm games. I hope they let me change the offset, please.
And I hope you ready to get spoiled for all you Switch owners out there.
Pretty much.
Jeez.
But it's just a cool announcement. I'm looking forward to that. I know some people weren't down on it, but I'm like, man, lighten up. It's gonna be fun. You like the music?
Dude, it's gonna be fun.
I'm like, chill, bro.
Dude, a friend, what is a good mutual of mine on Twitter was like, she's not really into the series.
Yeah, I know my sister's gonna mess with this for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna play this game just for the music alone.
Yeah. Seriously. You can have so many thoughts, but listen, unanimously, soundtrack's pretty fucking great. Yeah, pretty consistent with each game.
Definitely one thing I am looking forward to the future is that, I'm gonna say this right now, we're gonna get an exclusive escape room Kingdom Hearts that's also will be canon.
Oh my god.
And they'll try to make sure no one films it on their phones.
I'd believe it. Oh my god.
So what's next on the docket?
So this was just really quick, because I guess this was the only thing that was announced that's actually worth a damn from the Pokemon presentation they had a few days ago. So in the presentation they had some weird shit. Probably can brush your teeth with Pokemon now. I don't even know, man. I saw some weird images on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say. But amongst that whole presentation, they announced finally, after several years of people waiting, a new Pokemon Snap. They showed off a little bit in a trailer, but it's still in development. I think they said it's coming out next year. But I'm assuming it's because of them putting out DLC this year for Sword and Shield, that now they can just maybe do some spin-offs, which honestly, I'd much rather, even if I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon anymore. It's still part of my childhood, I don't really hate the series, but it's not something I keep up with anymore. But I'd much rather, if they would, instead of doing yearly releases that are mainline games, I'd much rather them put out, one mainline game every 2 years or something, do DLC with half the team, and then be able to do stuff like this, bring back a spin-off series or make a new one or something, right? Because for me, I'm at the point now where it's I don't really like mainline Pokemon anymore, but spin-offs I could probably mess with. This isn't really speaking to me as much because I never grew up with the original game, I'll be real. But I'm at the point now where a spin-off would be way more interesting for me than a mainline game.
Yeah. I was going to say, what's interesting with this one is that this actually is developed by Bandai Namco Studios.
Yeah.
And
which I'm just good.
Which also explains why it looks better.
Yeah.
Why it looks better, yes. Which I know everyone's beating on the horse. But I will say is I have played the original Pokemon Snap and loved it. And I was begging for a sequel ever since the Wii U came out.
Yeah. People kept saying, man, the Wii U, it's perfect. What are you doing?
It's so perfect.
God.
And then I gave it that dream until right now.
Now they do. I mean, I guess it still works if you have handheld Switch. You can kind of use the R trigger as camera lens.
Yeah, I mean that works, and I mean you can also properly play on the go as well.
Yep. So I'm it's cool. I'm glad other people are happy for it though.
Yeah, I mean I'm glad we're finally getting a sequel.
Yeah, I know Shin's gonna mess with it.
Dude, I know I'm gonna mess with it. I think probably Vex too.
Yeah.
And I still have the memories where my Blockbuster used to have the printer for Pokemon Snap.
Oh shit! Wasn't that also the same printer you could use with Stadium and there were several games you could just take a random picture and just put it on the kiosk there?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was a bunch of games, but I still remember those days all those printers.
Oh man, what a time! But yeah, that was just that was the one cool announcement they had, to be fair, which a lot of people were expecting DLC information when it came out the same day. So That was a nice swerve to finally give people what they want, you know. Speaking of giving people what they want, so there's not much to go off here, but a new skate title is in development in the same year that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is coming back. Guys, we're getting a Skate 4.
We're getting Skate 4. Like, obviously, we don't have, like, footage or anything, but at least we have the devs saying we're making a new skate game.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we know is that they got the team back together and they're working on it. So, hopefully they don't mess up. It's been... When did Skate 3 come out? Jesus.
Oh, a long time ago, my dude.
God, because it's like, I remember like PS3 and 360 had the Skate series was around, and then it just went off the face of the earth.
It just like went off before levels knew it.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is great to see, because once again, it's just, what year is it, you know?
Yes, dude, I haven't watched like Max's like reaction, and he thought he was gonna get like just garbage from the EA stream.
Yeah, ended up being pretty decent. But I figured this is the one that I like, I'd add into it.
I'm like, first we get to play Titanfall 2 on Steam without Origin, and now we get Skate.
Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of EA games are now on Steam, so for people, I guess, who are waiting on some of those not being on EA Origin or whatever they call it, you're free now. Hopefully the Steam ports are good. Because I still got to check out Titanfall at some point. I never played them.
Yep.
But
I still gotta check him out too.
So this is just I guess just kind of talk about it a little bit, since we're like gonna be checking it out a few days from now. So this is what we were talking about before with some of the stuff that we're like, we're probably gonna like watch before I have to pack my bags and go on vacation. Is New Game Plus Expo is basically a showcase of a ton of companies that you should be paying attention to if you're in the know. So, got all kinds, like Indie Creates, you got Sega, you got like, I know like about Idea Factory, Universe America, Way Forward, SNK, there's a whole bunch. But I even mentioned to Soul, we're definitely cherry picking here. I'm like, I probably got time for Atlas, This America, SNK, and probably the rest. So I'll just be like, hopefully they announce some cool stuff, but that's like the ones for me.
Yeah, like currently they're just like, that's the schedule for the after show, right?
Yeah.
And they also added like one more. They put in what is like believe it was, what was the name of the company? Oh, PM Studios that do the other rhythm games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did one more. But basically, like the main show is gonna happen around 8 a.m. Which GG's to me. Like, I'm gonna try my best to stay up, because I know Terry Bogard was like pushing it when that stream happened.
Yeah. So really the main show is what we're really gonna need to watch, and I guess the rest is like stage time for them to show it off a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
definitely they confirmed that, like the main show is like at 8 a.m. while the rest of it is just like, fun little like, demos and stuff.
Wait, what time zone?
Alright, so...
Oh, wait, yeah, right there, Pacific time. So I guess for me, yeah, it's 11 a.m. So I'll live, but yeah, rip.
Yeah, no, for you, you're gonna live, man, just like with the Terry Bogard.
Yeah.
Dude, can't believe I had to wake up at 6 a.m. for that.
Oh, man. Drink some coffee or something, man. Get some Earl Grey tea.
Yep. Or better yet, just drink water, though. So, yeah,
Always.
We're definitely, like... I am looking forward to this, and I'm glad, like, this is kind of like of an expo I've been always wanting to watch.
Yeah.
Especially since E3 is not a thing this year.
Pretty much this is where they're probably going to show off any major announcements right now.
Yeah, and also, I'll put like a little bit of update to this, actually, is that we actually got like a first little teaser news from SNK for New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Which, as I predicted, is that we're definitely going to see like info about the last DLC character for Season 2 of Sam Show.
Yeah, of course. I was like, if that's not here... Like, KO15, it's like, alright, that's a pipe dream, but better believe we're getting DLC information for that last Sam Show character. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, like, the Sam Show DLC, that's definitely a gimme, though, but I am... Hopefully we'll get some sort of teaser for KO15.
Same. I hope for something. However, I feel like they might also be cautious with how the 14 reveal went. I feel like they might still, leave it in the oven a bit longer. Because, I don't know. I feel like they still got some scars from 14's initial reception when they teased it, Who
Yeah,
knows? I think
but
they've learned, though. They've gotten better with it, with the art
yeah,
styles in 3D. So who knows?
yeah. Like we're probably gonna wait. We'll see at least some sort of teaser for KF15, and then they'll probably show like the rest of the stuff like in August or something like that.
Yep.
And if we're lucky, though, maybe some little possible chance, we might get a little bit of a teaser for the new Metal Slug game. But who knows?
We'll see. But yeah, just looking forward to that on the 23rd. That'll be probably like the last thing I stream and react to before I leave for the vacation. So I'll definitely be streaming that and reacting with Soul. And then tomorrow, or technically today, because it's already midnight here. we got to wrap this up soon. We're almost done. But yeah, there's a presentation going on. Actually, wow, at like 10 a.m. Eastern, so I got to get up early. See what it's all about. Basically, it's a Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sakurai showing off another DLC fighter, which has already been confirmed a while ago that it's an ARMS fighter, which for me, I definitely did not buy the game. I did. I think I think they had like a demo like before release, and I messed with it.
Yeah, they had like an online demo.
Yeah, and I was like, it's fine. But I already felt like I played enough of the game to know that this is it, And
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like sometimes the demo can be great, and sometimes it can be a bit too generous, and sometimes it's the point where it's like I've seen enough. It never made me pull the plunge, especially when like I think Splatoon 2 was coming out, and this was releasing for $60. I was like, I couldn't convince myself, to buy it. But it was fun for what it was. It's just never could get into it completely. So hopefully the fighter itself is interesting. For me, I just like watching these for the reveals and like, Sakurai's freaking shenanigans and the memes and shit. But I'll be real, I don't really play Smash Bros. Ultimate anymore. I've gone on record in saying that I just don't enjoy the game anymore, which sucks to say, but yeah, if it just had better online, if it was just more enjoyable to play in general, but it's just so frustrating immediately whenever I play it. Like, God, I just don't find it fun anymore, and it's kind of sad when I used to go to local tournaments for this stuff,
Yeah, same here. Like, it's gone to the point where like I actually uninstalled this game.
That's fair, God, and that's the thing. It's like arguably this is like the best one that there could be, but it's like, why am I not playing it? There's something so fucked up about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just hoping that the presentation's pretty cool. I don't really have any stakes on who it could be. Don't really have any favorites from the ARMS series, so we'll see. I know a lot of people are either saying, I guess, like Min Min or Twintel, which I'm like, either one's fine. But
I was thinking of wait, I'll take either one. Though that's the thing with this game, right? Is that like I love the characters.
Yeah, the character designs are great. But yeah, the gameplay is like it's there,
Yeah, no, and the worst part is that like the online is okay, but there is still like a weird experience of being like, oh yeah, this game has rollback. I'm like, no. Don't you dare like bullshit me. This game's like really online netcode.
Yeah, if that's rollback, yikes. It works, but yeah, I don't think that's the rollback that I want. Anyway, here we are at the last one.
It's about time.
It's about time. I was about to make the joke, damn it. Yeah, so people, this is why I'm like, the trailer is coming out tomorrow, but I'm okay with it because shit got leaked. GG's, man.
Yes, GG's. Like, I saw this on my Twitter feed. I sent you this. I think it was like around midnight. I think it was like either 11 or midnight my time.
Yeah, I was sharing Xenoblade Chronicles last night. I was like, oh shit. God. When I saw the release date, but yeah, Crash Bandicoot 4 people, it's happening. That's
It's
why
happening, man.
it's about time as like the subtitle name to it. But the trailer images got leaked, and apparently it's coming out October 9, which is pretty soon, all things considered. It's coming out this year. But GG's to Taiwan. That's where they found the leak. Once again,
Along with the box art.
yeah, the box art looks great too. That's like perfect, like expression, just like cartoony visuals. That's a box art that just makes you want to buy it.
Same.
But I was gonna say, what was the other game that got leaked by Taiwan? I'm trying to remember. Was it Under Night or was it something else?
Yeah, it was like Uniclear.
Okay. Oh man, still haven't played that in forever too. But yeah.
Yeah, that was like twice. Like we saw like Taiwan ratings just like leaking stuff. Like with the Uniclear, we saw just a logo that it looked legit.
Yeah.
But with Crash, we saw the box art.
Man.
Like which gave us like who was developing this game, etc.
Yep.
And then as of like last night, like I sent like this man like DMs during super late night, which were leaked images.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, this game looks good.
It looks really good. Granted, though, I'm not a fan of Coco's design. I know some people are. I'm not alone on that front. She looked better than Insane. But everyone looks like overall really good. Crash looks way better. I have to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say like some people like are saying like they don't really dig Crash, but for me, this is actually like the best Crash I've seen.
100%. This is the best Crash.
Dude, definitely way better than like Tattoo Crash era.
Yeah. I mean, even Insane wasn't that bad, to be fair. But yeah, I just kind of like how like the whole like two-tone like fur going on is like also on his like his mouth as well. Like it's more pleasing to me, to the eye, just seeing like the colors meld like that more. Plus it looks very expressive too.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing some of the leaked images, it seems like you'll be able to play as Cortex as well, which has not been done since Twin Sanity.
Yes, I was gonna like tell you about this. So I did read like a little bit of like info.
Yeah.
Where they definitely did say like Cortex is playable, which is very Twin Sanity.
Yeah.
And we also got the option to play as either Crash and Coco.
Yep.
And the other thing they also did describe to this one leaker is that apparently like they're still sticking with the Naughty Dog style of levels.
Yep.
Where it's obviously still linear but in a very fun way.
Yeah, which makes sense too, because if anybody never played the Insane Trilogy, they did release 2 original levels. The notable one being Future Tense, which was a completely new Crash 3 like future level. And it was pretty good. It was very tough, but pretty damn good. So they've shown that they could make levels, for this competently, and I think now they know what to do with it, as opposed to trying to do like a weird reboot where they don't really know what fans want,
Yeah, and the other thing I also did read is that like apparently like the progression, like map specific wise, right, is definitely gonna be similar to like to Mario 3 and / World.
Okay, it's like pretty linear, but might have some branching paths here and there.
Yeah,
Bonus
branching
levels
paths.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing I also do know, if you look at if you scroll up and see the shot with like Crash, definitely also to know is that we're going to get masks power ups. Similar of how like Mario gets his suit power ups.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was just cosmetic or if it was actual gameplay related. Damn. Hopefully they're good.
I am very excited to see, because this is actually the first one in the series we seem like do this.
It's so weird because you would think they would have done this a long time ago, right?
Yeah,
just like Mario like power ups, they should have really messed with that a bit.
Yeah, but instead like they did like all their stuff.
Yeah, Titan, like, shit. I'm like, what is going on with this? Oh, it was such a weird turn.
Yeah, and then the other thing else I did notice is that like some of the screens that we saw, and also the one we're seeing with the Nitro boxes,
Yeah,
where the surfboard levels are back.
Surfbird.
Surfboard.
No, I'm messing. But yeah, no, they're definitely back. God, they have to. It's like a staple.
Yeah. And that's definitely like pretty much it. Like definitely, I am liking the style. I can tell like since this is developed by
Toys for Bob.
yeah, Toys for Bob, is that this is definitely like the same design team that did the Spiral games.
Absolutely, yeah. Which they were great at that. Oh my god, the redesign for Spyro was perfect, especially in Spyro 1 as well. They redesigned like all the dragons that you saved. Like whoever's on the art team for that, I have no doubt these locations are gonna look great. Just from
Yeah,
playing the remake of Spyro.
they even like redesigned the kangaroo as well.
Yeah. Oh man. Um.
Y-
So yeah.
I'm yeah, I'm just really super excited, especially for the trailer tomorrow.
Same. I can't wait to just
And
see it in
also
like proper, 1080.
they brought back the Crash suit once again, like in those like Twitter feeds.
Yeah. Dude, I've been laughing every time because like this announcement right here on like the bottom right. I've been trying not to look at it because I can't stop laughing. It's just a thumbnail of like Crash, just like big eyes and like the teaser. Oh no, man. Little dumb things make you laugh. But yeah, no, that's the last one. Obviously, growing up as a kid, a lot of people, myself included, um, big fans of Crash. You just want him to come back. So hopefully this nails it and they do something new. But it's what people want. Like most people just want a continuation of what they loved years ago on PlayStation 1. So if they can nail it, don't put in like crazy gimmicks. People say Wrath of Cortex rather is like the real Crash 4, but I'm like, nah. In Japan apparently,
Nah.
but nah, man. I ain't messing with that. That game is disappointment.
Dude, Wrath of the Cortex, it was a mistake.
Like there are some games I play where it's like you ever have those times where you just like pick up a controller, play it for like a few minutes, and you're like, gross. Right? Like the feel just isn't there.
Dude, that was me like when I rented that game.
Like seriously, I was just like, nope, it's not it. Like you just instantly know, like, nope, doesn't feel right. God.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much the last of the news segment. So I don't want to keep you here much longer, dude. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. We're reaching the 4-hour mark, which, granted, with the way I edited the last segment or the last episode, it didn't take long at all. I just did like a quick noise reduction and called it a day, unless there were like any like cars or like interruptions in between. So that's what I'm probably gonna do. It's not gonna take long, and I can actually see how the video editing software works. I'll see if even it can handle Vegas now, probably. But yeah, it's I don't know, just a lot of good news. Probably going to be a lot more in the future, but like I said, I will not be able to comment on it because when I go on that trip, I am not bringing a mic. I do not have a travel size mic whatsoever. I have the Yeti, which is extremely bulky, or I have my Audio Technica 2020, but that also needs the audio interface to work. So I'm just shit out of luck, guys. I'm not bringing a microphone with me to like do anything or like do streams. So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the vacation, just relax. I'll be on Twitter, but yeah, just looking forward to any announcements that show up. If there are any announcements that happen when I'm out in Puerto Rico, I'll be sure to like tweet reactions or impressions, but that's about it. I'll try to take pictures and shit, might as well while I'm there, because I actually haven't gone to Puerto Rico in like 12 years, so looking
That's
forward to
definitely a
seeing
long
it again.
time.
Yeah, and the last time I went, not to get like too real, but it was for a funeral, so it wasn't actually there for leisure, But yeah, it's been technically longer than 12 years. But yeah, just looking forward to that as much as I can. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm probably gonna stream, a few days before I leave. But the episode, or this podcast episode, will probably be out by the time I'm like ready to pack and like leave. So yeah, I'll just be back in a month. But aside from that, that's pretty much it from me. You guys could always find me on I'd say on Twitch, VFX Mario, YouTube, and everything else. But mainly for this episode, you can find me on Twitter /VFX Mario. That's mainly where I'm going to be posting anything at all during that vacation. So yeah, that's it from me. But where can they find you at, man?
Well, for now, you can find me with my Twitter at Fatal Brace Your Soul. and that's about. And you can also see me hang out in this man's stream, and obviously during his like reaction streams.
But then what are you gonna do for the month when I'm not there?
Play games. What else?
Oh shit. The biggest swerve. Nah, I'm messing.
Yeah. But yeah, like definitely you will see me just like, you know, either retweet or chat about stuff on Twitter at FatoBrazersSoul. And also shouts to, you know, to my good friend at Renfurs for what is like a
Oh yeah, because you won that raffle, right?
Yep, I won an art raffle and I have a new icon, which I want to like, give her thanks for letting me like using my prize as my new icon.
Nice. It'd be like that. It does look great too.
It's amazing.
God. But yeah, that's all that'll about do it. We're getting close to 4 hours here, so we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I'll be back in about a month. I'll see you then. Till then, take care. Have a good one. And that'll do for now. Later, guys.
Laters.